What's going on, everybody? Oh, let me change my avatar. Oh, Candace. George. How much you pay Tyler Robinson Candace? Y'all, we got to do this. We got some stuff to go over tonight. How y'all doing? Y'all come on in, hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. Make sure you guys are liking the content, hyping them up at the conclusion of it. Some I always forget to say. Make sure you are subscribed. Check out Patreon. And we have some merch up, y'all. We finally got up by Felicia. And you can't make this up. T-shirts are now in the LLC merch shop as a part of the Molotov collection. You guys see the new merch up, you'll see the Molotov logo on the inside of the shirts now. So I wanted to make sure I have that there. Shout out to Nikki B. And yes, I reached out to Gil since he said he would help us get incorporated and get that logo copyrighted. And so hopefully I'll be able to get that done by the end of this week. Okay. But I need an attorney to help me with it because I'm not giving up my private information. I'm just be honest. Yeah, they want you got to give up your information, and then they give you this disclaimer. The moment you give it up, you'll get calls and emails and all this stuff with potential scammers saying you got to pay and this, that, the third for copyright and then trademark. Nope. Let me get an attorney to help me because this I don't do that. I have my number added on that list. The registry, the federal registry, do not call registry. Yeah, no. Why in the world? The fact that they seem to be proud of that, it's so irritating. Like, what makes you think I want people calling me like that? So, yeah. No, we're not doing that. We's not doing that. I am going to make sure, we got that done right. Because, Shabu, let's get to this, y'all. Okay, so Jim sent me an email. Let me see. Hey, body analyst. Okay, let me get this in here. Shout out to all of you all tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button for me as you come in. Candace, you dumb demon. You still talking about you going to burn something to the ground? Because I'm waiting. Her ass going to go to jail. Hold on. Ooh. Okay. Also, this is from the behavioral arts. Oh, my goodness. So we get a little of this in. We got some Natalie, Graham Allen, Edie Marie, Mira Kay. Oh, we got a lot. Okay, I'm trying to get my lineup right, y'all. Because I have a lineup. I'm still going to do my lineup. But I try my best to work in as much as I can when you all request. And whatever we all don't get in this live, we can get in tomorrow. Let's see. Okay. All right, cool. Then we got to do an update on Nolan Wells. So lots of things that we got to touch on. Plus, I need to do a music reaction video for Patreon. So let's get to it, y'all. Y'all ready? Get some music going. All right. I'll share this screen here. So I guess we can start this off with some of the behavioral arts. This is a little 57 minutes long.
When people say they don't find it
if
convincing.
that was the limitation.
So even if we start half today, do the other half, and then have a few other videos that I want to check out in the lineup, we can work it like that because there's always tomorrow, y'all. So shout out to Andrew COVID once again. I'm just excited. Tomorrow afternoon I have the second part, a second interview, a screening with TPUSA, and I'm really excited, you guys. You can't tell. I am so excited. Yeah, come on, Cam, a little bit. You guys, we're back. Thank y'all so much. Hit that like button. Mindy up in here, Francisca. Shout out to the mods, you all. They are absolutely amazing. Nikki B up in here. I see you, girl. Sifa up in here. Mario, how you doing, honey? Mr. B5. I know. Thank you, Mr. B5. Glad you're going to discuss this interview. Want to hear your opinion? Yeah. Tomorrow is the second screening so far. I'm my biggest thing is being able to still have my social medias, do my independent journalism and reporting and all of that, because I do want to get this to a point where it's, more serious. I mean, I want to get to the point where the Lady Luck Club becomes officially incorporated, trademarked, the logo, the Molotov logo from Nikki B, trademark. That's what I want. I want this to become, a staple, to where I don't have to worry about stealing you guys' designs, the fantastic logos you all send. Make sure you all still get y'all credit for it and still be able to, have it protected, and have it registered. That's how I want to do it. Do it the right way. Does that make sense? So I did reach out to Gil. I told him to email me because he said he would help with that process. And I want an attorney for that, because I don't want to have to, you put your information out there. Now you got to sit here and work double time trying to keep scammers from emailing and calling you. Hell no. There's a way for this to be done by an attorney, though. They have options on the website for you to have an attorney help you with all of that. And, they probably don't even have to worry about that. Like, why would you subject the public to all that damn harassment? It makes no sense. It's a whole message you get. Yeah, you might have scammers start calling you and reaching out to you because there's no, expectation of privacy. Nope. I'll get in time. So hopefully I can, get with Gil and he can help me. The whole truth can help me with that process and do it all under the attorney. Does that make sense? That I want to do it the right way. Yep, do it correct, avoid issues. Absolutely. And I know Nikki B, and I keep telling you this Molotov logo is gonna take off. If y'all have never gone on the US patent or trademark website, please do. And you'll see a laundry list of Mala, but not Molotov. So that goes to show a lot of people have tried to incorporate or copyright that acronym. But we have Molotov, and that is not listed at all. And I want to beat everybody to the punch. Like anybody is trying to steal that idea, beat them to the punch and copyright this stuff so we can be official with it. And then Candace, I dare you use my logo. Nikki B is not going to be very happy at all. I'll tell you that right now. So we want to get this official. All right. So Jim sent us over this video from the behavioral arts. Ooh, they got 330,000 views in 2 days. Jesus, fix it. Good grief. So they go over the analysis, body language, and all of that, which is cool. I love learning about, body language, because that helps with interrogations, to help understand interrogation. I cannot wait till they drop the interrogation, if there was an interrogation of Tyler Robinson. Because you know how many body behavior analysts going to be all over that? Oh, my God. So going over the Reed method, helping you understand why, investigators ask questions and do certain things that they do in interrogations. Great way to learn the method in order to get information out of people. Hence why attorneys always say, don't talk to the cops. They're not your friends. They're not. They're trying to get a confession. They want you to get it on the record. So let's get to this. Even if we get half in today, the other half tomorrow, we're going to get it in. You guys hit the floor where you can see and heat up. Shout out to Jim. Let's go.
Of the claims that you made, if it was just, wait a second, there's a little bit of problems. There's some problems in this case that I have questions for that I want answers to. Nobody have a problem, actually. At least of all me.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Behavioral Arts. My name is Spidey, and I use my degree in sociology and psychology, my certifications in criminal interrogation and body language analysis, and my experience as an award-winning mentalist to teach people behavioral analysis and practical psychology on stage and television shows all over the world. This week's topic, I don't think needs much of an introduction. This is the great debate that took place earlier this week, hosted by Patrick Bet-David, between Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson regarding the whole Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk case. So for those of you who don't know, Andrew Wilson has gone on the record as saying that he believes there's overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson was the one who assassinated Charlie Kirk, and Candace Owens disagrees and believes that Tyler Robinson did not commit this crime. And in this debate, they were both presenting why they believe what they believe and also trying to poke holes in the conclusions of their opponent. It was very difficult to condense a debate that was almost 4 hours long into shorter clips for a concise analysis, but I think I did it. I watched every second of that debate, and we're going to look at clips here in this video that I believe have the most interesting behaviors. We're going to look at their body language, facial expressions, and word choice to see when they're the most confident in their positions, when they're the least confident in their positions, and there are even moments where the behaviors indicate that they're aware of the fact that on this specific topic, they're not making the most compelling arguments. So without any further ado, let's dive right in.
Because everybody watching knows that I have been demanding not a debate, just an open conversation with Turning Point USA. They should be here. It shouldn't be you in that chair. It should be the person that took Charlie's place, maybe Erica Kirk, maybe Andrew Colbert. He's a spokesperson. And rather than doing that, they send us another influencer. So let's see how it goes.
Well, why didn't you? But see, here's the thing. You could have flew your dumb ass out there to Arizona. You know, last year when you claimed you didn't know you were a pregnant. Why didn't you fly out there to Arizona? How far along are you again? Because she could have flown out there to Arizona. And then she makes it seem like she's never had a conversation with Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk flew to Tennessee and had a conversation with her dumb behind for 4.5 hours. Candace, we're not going to your alternate reality, you stupid alien who wants to burn everything to the ground. They don't owe you conversation. That was a favor to you and a heads up. Because they could just take that and say, you know what? This is going to prove our malice intent. Yeah, we're suing you then. They're not going to keep talking to you about the same old thing. You asking the same old dumbass questions, you moron. They're not going to keep doing that with you. It's a back and forth that never ends. It's a cycle. You want to keep soundbiting her because you have nothing else to talk about and you don't know how to read. Erica Kirk is sick of you. She wants you to leave her alone. Leave her name out your mouth. Leave her alone. It's that easy. She took off this week, did she not? Candace, are you giving birth? Or is it just fluid? She said she's not filming this week. She don't even tell her cult members she on vacation anymore. Candace, where the hell you at? Y'all, Paramount Tactical is going to be going live tonight. Is this 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? He's going to be over there on X. Make sure you guys tune in. I see the tag, Mindy. Thank you, honey. You can't make this up. She has like that 4.5 hour conversation was not enough. No, it's not sufficient. Yeah, he's supposed to keep talking to me because I'm bored. The hell? Leave her alone. God. You think you should leave her alone? Leave her alone. Oh my God. I think she would just do that. Like, I'm just not even I'm not gonna bother her. I'm gonna leave her alone. Let her do her thing. I get it. She's like, she probably is like, why does this girl keep mentioning me? Why does she keep saying my name? She 4.5 hours, Candace. She flew to Tennessee and had a sit-down conversation with you for 4.5 hours. That's a long time to have to sit here and to get you to understand, 2-syllable words. And you still demanding that she talks with you. Girl, kick rocks. Bye, Felicia.
Are you between 0 to 100? What is the likelihood that you think Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk and killed him?
Based on the evidence right now, I don't know. I'd say 75, 85%.
Candace?
0%.
0%.
I'm at 0.
So
with what we've seen in terms of the evidence, I'm at 0%.
So not only, that maybe somebody was behind him as a patsy influencing him. You're not even saying that he didn't even shoot Charlie Kirk.
Right. I would, if you said, was he involved that day, as
Right.
I have consistently said on my platform, I would say yes, he was. I don't know what role he played, but as the shooter.
That's what you're supposed to be finding out, what role he played, and then telling your people that. Because the rest of us don't care what you think. Your cult members, though, they're still trying to figure out, like, okay, can you tell us what role he played? No? You still don't know? Was George Farmer there as well? Because, they probably shared ice cream together.
0%.
Do you have any evidence for it?
For what?
No,
my
The
percentage?
fact that he didn't shoot and kill Charlie Kirk.
Yes, which I'm hoping we're going to get to all of the evidence that he feels that he has.
Also, the fact of the matter.
So he asked, do you have evidence? She said, yes. Do you have any evidence for it? Y'all see this? Candace, this is why we snip. Do you have any evidence for it? Evidence to show that he was not the shooter, and I am 0% convinced. What she said?
For what? My percentage?
The fact that he didn't shoot and kill Charlie Kirk.
Yes, which I'm hoping we're going to get.
Yes. Candace, that's all we needed to hear. Because you're an idiot. Yes. Do you have any evidence to show that he did not shot and kill Charlie Kirk? Her answer was, what y'all see here? 3 letters. 1 word. 1 syllable. Yes. Candace, hell is hot. You'll find out.
To all of the evidence that he feels that he has.
Also, the fact of the matter is that I dispute this claim that a 30-06 could not have made this wound. I think that's absurd.
Hey, Velvet.
150 grain Remington core lock absolutely could shatter when it hits the neck of any human being. When you say that there's some steel neck and it's a smaller caliber, you have to make a counter explanation. Why wouldn't a smaller caliber also go through bone?
Okay, starting off strong with a lot of really important stuff in this one little clip. So first of all, behaviorally, there's something really interesting in the beginning with Candace Owens when she talks about Turning Point USA. And all of a sudden, we see her kind of talking out a little bit out of one side of the mouth. Now, this isn't baseline for Candace in the sense that she doesn't often just normally talk this way, but it does happen in key moments when she is speaking. We often see it with her in moments of sarcasm or when she's lightly mocking something, but we also see it in moments of contempt, not just with Candace, but universally. Contempt is one of the universal emotions, which means research has shown that all over the world, it looks the same and people recognize it regardless of culture or upbringing. And it's characterized by a scrunching on one side of the face. So sometimes it looks like this, sometimes it looks like this. And that's what I think is happening here. As she's talking about Turning Point USA and the fact that they didn't send someone from their organization to debate her, we're seeing a little bit of that contempt come out. Another great thing that we're getting here is a baseline for Candace when she's confidently confronting something. So she's very confident here that TPUSA should have sent someone. And look at the way she's coming.
It's irrelevant because they already did. Erica Kirk came herself. Because Megan Kelly's dumbass was so proud of that. Remember that? I facilitated all of this because I really do think I'm mommy of the internet. Hey, Patrina. Y'all remember Megan Kelly saying that nonsense and buffoonery? I'm not mommy of the internet, but I'm proud of having facilitated this meeting like I'm mommy of the internet. Girl, you don't kick rocks. You didn't do nothing. Can't make this up. So, it's so funny how these so-called attorneys are sitting here like, okay, Candace, if you're saying it's 0%, you can't say he wasn't there when there's evidence to show he was, because DNA is irrefutable. So did George lay out this DNA and he was there and he changed clothes with Tyler Robinson or what? How deep does that well go when it comes to George Farmer and Tyler Robinson? Lady Luck Club said they shared an ice cream cone together at Dairy Queen. That's why I have no quarrels with trolling her like this, because Candace is stupid.
Communicating this. She's looking directly at Andrew. She's making her points. She's speaking slowly and clearly with those pauses. That shifts. Those behaviors shift when she's a little less confident in what she's saying. But here we get a great example of what it looks like when that confidence is there. And we get the same thing from Andrew. When he's talking about bullets and guns and ammunition here, you'll notice that he's very comfortable with this topic. He's using industry terms. He's talking about it very comfortably. He's not searching for his words. And you'll notice that his illustrators, which is the word that the research uses for gestures that we make with our hands to illustrate or to emphasize what we're saying, are synced with his words. And he's comfortably sitting there and just explaining with these gestures. Again, this is all going to change when he's a little less confident in the topic that he's discussing. But by far the most valuable thing that we got in this segment is that it was a little more subtle for one of them than the other, but very clear from both exactly what their intention is during this debate. The first one happened when Patrick Bet David asked, "What's your percentage of certainty that Tyler Robinson did this?" And Andrew starts by saying 75 to 85%. Now, I think for him, this was strategic. Because if he leaves that margin of error, anytime in this debate that Candace can prove that something that he has concluded or is thinking isn't perfect, it has flaws, he already conceded that he's not 100%. So not everything he's going to present is 100% ironclad. So he's giving himself that bit of a wiggle room. But in so doing, he's very clearly signaling to us what his intention is in this debate. Because in a debate, you do two things. One, you defend your own side, and two, you attack the other side. So he's letting us know here that his goal here is not to convince us that Tyler Robinson for sure did this, because even he doesn't 100% believe that. Therefore, his goal must be to attack and show the flaws of Candace's conclusion. That's why he's here, to do that part of a debate. Now, Candace's declaration of intent is also there. It's a lot more subtle, but if we pay attention to her words, it's clear as day. Because Patrick asks, "Do you have any evidence that he didn't shoot and kill Charlie Kirk?" And she says, yes. That's her answer, yes. But then she elaborates and says, "And I'm hoping that we're going to get to the evidence he feels that he has," pointing to Andrew.
Do you have any evidence for it?
For what? My percentage?
The fact that he didn't shoot and kill Charlie Kirk.
Yes, which I'm hoping we're going to get to all of the evidence that he feels that he has.
So when she's asked, "Do you have evidence?" she goes, yes, but then kind of elaborates into saying that, well, it's not so much that she has evidence, but she's here to talk about his evidence. So his lack of evidence is going to be her evidence. That's why she connects those two thoughts. So there it is. It's crystal clear from both of these individuals that their intention here is not going to be to prove something, but to disprove their opponent's position. That's what they're each here for. There was something really interesting there that an interrogator would be all over and be asking questions about. Not that that indicates guilt or deception or anything. It's just something that's extremely curious for me. It's when Candace says that, if you ask me, was he involved that day? Was Tyler involved that day? I would say, yes, he was. But then she goes on to say, but she doesn't know to what capacity. I would love to know specifically what she means by that. Was he sitting at home involved in some way? Was he involved in the planning of this? Or does she mean simply by the fact that he's a patsy, that they put the blame on him? That's his involvement. I don't know. I'm not jumping to a conclusion here. I have no idea what the answer is, but I would love to ask her to elaborate on that. Oh, one last thing. At some point there, it looks like their feet are having a little nonverbal conversation that we're not allowed to be part of. Like, piss off, Owens. No, you piss off, Wilson. Your $300,000 check bounced. Oh God, I hate you so much. I need a cigarette. In all seriousness, a foot wiggle is not something you can isolate and analyze in and of itself. You have to see it in the cluster. You have to see when it comes up. In this case, it could be, I don't know, a little bit of early stress just being released there. It could be even a little bit of excitement to get things going. It could be a lot of different things. Eventually.
No, it could be Candace lie, because she says she has evidence to prove the fact that Tyler Robinson did not do it. She said yes. But I'm hoping we can get through his evidence. He thinks he has. No, hell no. Present yours first. Ladies first. Go ahead, girl. You know what? Never mind. Aliens first. There you go. Candace, aliens first.
I'm sure a lot of you noticed that Andrew's foot is going to be wiggling enough to generate power for the entire grid of the United States of America. And when that happens, we'll see if it's happening in specific moments. But for now, sometimes a wiggle is just a wiggle, and it doesn't tell us that much.
I said the prints were the most degraded off of Tyler Robinson. And from that, what I am inferring is that it's plausible that Tyler Robinson was set up.
What's in dispute is when you said, I'm using this as evidence that he could have been a patsy. I'm asking, how do you get the inference to patsy from that?
Because what I am saying is that it shows that somebody else had more DNA presence on that gun than Tyler Robinson did. So it is plausible, which is all they're doing. They're presenting plausibility based off of the facts. Okay. It is plausible that somebody just took his gun and put it there. That's it.
Is there equally
that's how it works.
And is there equally 100 other plausible explanations?
Not how it works.
I think that's the reason why most people are exploring when things don't make sense.
Got it.
So yes, at the beginning of that, this is how the court process works.
So
just so we're clear,
if there's 100 other plausible explanations, then Candace, why is it that we should go with this idea that it was a patsy?
I'm not saying that we should go with the idea that it was a patsy. I am saying that there is.
I thought that was the whole defense, your whole claim.
No,
today.
my whole claim was that there is more.
No, because your dumbass cult members coming out chats talking about, well, why you want us to believe the government? This has nothing to do with the government. This state's prosecution case. Because, they're too stupid to absorb that. You want people to actually believe that he was just a patsy, pansy, flapjack, pancake, waffle, griddle skillet. She wants us to believe that he was a cast iron skillet and we're to use it to make cornbread. Because she's an idiot.
Evidence that he is set up as a patsy.
How does that equal evidence of patsy?
I don't know how many times I can say this. Like I'm saying that I am using the exact same mechanism that you are accepting for some reason in the Utah courtroom.
Yeah.
Right. To say, I'm going to look at the evidence and I'm going to infer an alternative theory. So you just saw the states and you're accepting it.
So we're going to skip the body language on this one because this was such a revealing light bulb moment for me. And I realized in this segment that if Candace and Andrew weren't so busy hating each other, they would realize that they're saying the exact same thing. That was my only note on this segment. They're saying the same thing. So Andrew is making a valid point here in saying that, fine, granted that Tyler's DNA is the most degraded on the gun. We're not going to debate that. But aren't there 100 different reasons as to why that can happen? Surely he must concede that of those 100 reasons, some of them would indicate that Tyler did this. Some of them would indicate that he didn't. So he's sitting here telling Candace, yes, you have this thing. It doesn't mean you could jump to a conclusion. And meanwhile, Candace is saying the same thing. You have these things. Doesn't mean you could jump to a conclusion. They're both saying the same thing, but just their intuition is leading them down a different path. Look, what Andrew is describing here is very consistent with what we're taught in behavioral analysis. You have to look for those red flags. You have to look for those inconsistencies, but you have to be very careful to not prematurely jump to the worst conclusions based on these red flags, which is something we see a lot of in today's world, especially on social media. So the first part of what Candace is doing is good. It's right to say, hold on a minute, I would love to know why his DNA, his prints were the most degraded on the gun that he used. I don't really understand that. It doesn't make sense to me. That's not the issue. The issue is people who tend to take that and instantly jump to the worst case scenario. It must have been planted. Nothing else can explain this. Now, hold on a second. This is a good observation. Let's find out more. Let's talk to some experts. Is there something else that can explain this? Is there a way that he possibly used the gun, but his DNA will be the most degraded? What else makes sense? So this question indicates where we should go with our inquiries without immediately jumping to a conclusion. So if Andrew is making the point that Candace needs to just stop and consider other options, which she should stop and go, okay, hold on. What are some other reasons that the fingerprints might be degraded? He needs to apply that to, and he needs to think about, okay, hold on. What are some other plausible reasons that that gun might be near the crime scene? Which brings me back to what I said in the beginning. They're saying the same thing. Stop for a second and consider other alternatives.
How are you able to infer off of blurry staircase images that is Tyler Robinson?
Yeah. So in that particular case,
corroborating
what
evidence.
you do is you take that evidence, you combine it with other evidence. So it's not just that Tyler Robinson is.
You take that evidence and combine it with other evidence, Candace. I know you're listening, you dumb alien. It's called corroborating evidence. I know it's a big word for you. You got to pronounce it out. Take your time and then look it up. Because DNA evidence is unique to that individual. Your fingerprints, Candace, is unique to you. You being a foreign agent of another planet makes that even more special. I'm trying to say that without laughing, y'all. Aliens don't understand this concept. The God I serve is a big God who's very creative and managed to create millions to billions of people on this planet. And we all have our own set of DNA. Down to our fingerprints being unique to us. No one else on Earth or any alien or any other planet has my DNA or my fingerprints at all. Lord, we thank you. If his evidence is there, plus his cell phone data that gives coordinates, Candace, I can find you with a photo, even though you're not smart enough to know that. Because that photo is going to give some background information that could track us to you and where the hell you at. Is she still a pregnant out or what? Did the water break? What's the deal? So all that evidence comes together and corroborates itself. That places Tyler Robinson on that campus between this time frame and this time frame. Period. Just because you don't know how data works from a phone does not mean it does not work in the court of law and is not considered evidence. It is. Your cell phone data is considered evidence admitted into the case that gives coordinates with date and timestamps, IP addresses coming from the data from your phone, like all of that, plus the DNA evidence, plus the video footage, plus his confession, despite how you feel about it, comes together and corroborates itself. So all this corroborating evidence confirms he was there. You know, plus his confession, that's also evidence. It's admissible evidence. Period. She's literally trying to go against here on earth in this reality, someone who admitted to it. It's like she's ignoring that. They never bring this up. Y'all notice that? The cult members never ever say, well, yeah, he did admit to it. Okay, well, that's evidence. The court allows that to be admitted as evidence. It is admissible. Your admission is admissible evidence. But because words are hard for them, you know, of course, they're not going to like look that up or anything.
Seen in the staircase.
Why are you calling him Tyler Robinson in the staircase? That's what I want to get to.
Yeah, because I mean, we'll just use this. If you don't agree that that's Tyler Robinson, then you would just have to humor me. I think it is, so I'm using the name.
But why do you think it is? Because you make everybody, you call them conspiracy theorists. That's literally what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay. So if you're asking for my inference, why I think it's Tyler Robinson is because Tyler Robinson said in his text messages, you'll be able to see me on security footage at the campus. Said it in his own messages. Wow. On top of that, Twigs, yes, you can pull them up if you want to fact check that. He did say. On
yeah, I would. I'm sorry. I actually think I really did miss that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't remember him saying you're going to see me in.
Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but it was close to it.
Yeah, I think that's
by the
not
way,
right.
Twigs himself said that he had some. He had some. Maybe a.
Hey, Savs, I see you in here. Angie, how you doing? Ryan Worrell is an awesome guy. Help him out. Yeah, absolutely. We'll love to see him continue to grow as he has been doing. Gil, Whole Truth. We try to get him up there where he's monetized and all of that. See him grow like we have seen with Nicholas Brooks. I'm just blessed and honored to be a part of it all. Absolutely. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button.
Tiny bit of doubt, but it sure looked like Tyler Robinson inside of this various surveillance footage that he saw.
So Lance, Sorry.
hang
Go
on,
ahead. You're
hang
right.
on. So there's
Sorry.
multiple reasons why it
I don't
is
know the facts.
that I believe that that's Tyler Robinson.
So let's address those multitude of evidences. The first one we're working on a fact check on, because I do not ever remember him tweeting. That's me in the stair. I mean, or
Well, he didn't tweet
texting.
it.
Texting
Yeah.
that's me in the staircase. I think that I
didn't say that. I said I literally didn't. What I said is that he texted over, "You'll be able to see me in footage at UVU," and I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said.
Yeah, could we get a fact check on that?
If we can put that up on the screen, thank you.
It was me. Look at the pictures from the surveillance footage. It was me. Okay. I literally said to you, it's not an oof. I said I didn't remember this, and I'm happy to have a fact check on that. Okay. I didn't call for the fact check saying you're wrong. I literally said I don't remember that from the time.
You know, you didn't say that. This is what happens when you sit here and talk all this smack wanting a debate. You think you would have been able to pull this off with Erica Kirk or somebody from TPUSA? You don't think they would have been able to make the same point, Candace? See, what she wanted is someone she feels knows less than her. No, I don't even think they should come to your house. Erica Kirk should not be anywhere near Candace at this point. Period. I'm just saying, hit the vote. Erica Kirk and Candace Owens should not be near each other. In person. Physically located next to each other. Period. Because Candace out here talking about she want to fight. Why would you even put that out there? If anything, Erica Kirk should get a protection order against Candace Owens to protect her and her 2 kids. But she certainly should not be in the same house or room with Candace Owens at all. Nope. So after that 4.5-hour conversation last year in Tennessee, where Erica Kirk took a flight to go out there herself, that's enough, because Candace is not even appreciative of that. She's literally like, oh, it should be somebody from TPUSA. No, it shouldn't, because they already came to you and sat with you for 4.5 hours. They don't have to do it again. Girl, bye. Bye, Felicia. You can't make this up. And she's sitting here making dumb demands. No, Erica Kirk should not go nowhere near your house. Erica Kirk, she got a demon in her. You might want to stay far from Candace. Her demonic nonsense.
I'm just saying to you, like, I'm trying to be concise for you.
And then also bring the 801 that you just said. What was the other one?
Yep, the 801. Tyler messages saying it's not hearsay, if you have that as well.
It's consistent with the declarant's testimony and is offered to rebut the express implied charge that the declarant recently fabricated or acted in recent improper influence or motive in testifying. So then wouldn't that mean that a bunch of this wasn't hearsay?
So the issue with his
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Would that mean that a bunch of this wasn't hearsay?
So the opposing party, which down the line, like I said, they talked about this for about an hour and a half, and they discussed how if Lance was in court and he was giving his first party, giving his testimony as the opposing party, whatever, all of this would be fine. They had an issue with how the questions were being asked and that they were not allowed to cross-examine him. Mm-hmm. So that is why his video testimony would not be accepted in the main trial.
Holy moly, there is so much going on in that clip. I think I could literally do 1 hour analysis on what we just saw. I'm going to try to keep it concise, but there is so much. First and foremost, let's talk about Andrew's first answer, where I technically subjectively agree with what's being said, but objectively, I think that when he's saying it and the way he's saying it are a concern. So she's saying, why do you think that that's Tyler in the footage that we saw on campus? That's a specific question. So if we look at that point that he's making there alone, isolated, it makes sense, because he's saying it's not just one thing that for me is like ironclad. It's all these separate things that seem to be pointing in the same direction. So the issue isn't what he said. It's when he said it and how he said it. Because it would be different if he said, look, here's how I see it. Here's how I go about it. I take the evidence, I combined it with the other evidence, and to me, it seems to indicate such and such thing. He went into this whole, what you do is you take the evidence and you combine it with other evidence, like he's lecturing her on how she's supposed to think, which comes off as egotistical, to put it lightly. And the reason I say this isn't the place for that is because she asked for a very specific question. What is it about the video footage from the campus that tells you that that's Tyler Robinson? What is it about that? And instead of answering that specific, he expanded. He gave a non-specific answer to a specific question in saying, well, you take all this other evidence and you combine it, but you weren't asked about this other evidence. You were asked about this specific piece right here. What is it about this? So not only in interrogations is this something we immediately notice, I asked you something specific and you went broad. No, let's come back to this moment. But it's also something that he criticized her for doing when he asked about something specific and she brought in other elements. So again, they're doing a lot of the same things here. And he knows this, by the way, because his body language is very different here than from times where he's very confidently making a point that he strongly believes in, like we saw earlier and we're about to talk about in this clip. We saw a moment of that a lot. But in this moment, you'll notice, first of all, we have this display at some point with the hands up like this. And this is a very, very big display, right? It's not this small gesture where the hands shoot up like this when he's talking. They're up here like this as he's saying, look, this is what I think. You're going to have to humor me here. The two hands shooting up like this socially is pretty significant. And it's different from the one hand coming up like this, which the research has shown universally is connected to either negations, like refusing something, or stopping something, even socially, to get someone's attention to say hello. When the two hands shoot up like this, it's a display of innocence, like I have nothing to hide, and often even happens in moments of submission to say, look, you got me. You win this one, I'm not going to be a threat. So besides the hands up here and saying you're going to have to humor me, which very much non-verbally does show a moment of concession, we also see a quick face touch. He touches here by the nose, and at some point, face touching is going to become part of his baseline. Later in the debate, he spends a lot of time with his hand over here. At some point, he's picking his earbud quite a bit, which we're going to talk about later. But in the beginning, he wasn't doing it as much. And touching the face, especially around the nose, is connected to stress because the research has shown that the blood flow of the face changes under stress. And often we see a lot of facial touching during stress. But of course, we want to see it in a cluster because sometimes a face touch is just a face touch. We also hear this nervous little chuckle that's very consistent with his less confident moments here. As he says, that's literally what I'm trying to explain to you. We get this little giggle over here, along with all these other things.
That's literally what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay.
So if you're asking for my info.
So I think he understands here that this isn't the best answer to your question. And so he pivots towards, okay, well, here's why I think. He admitted in the text that we're going to see him on the footage. And his roommate said, not 100% sure, but that sure looks like him in the footage. Okay, now let's talk about Candace. There's a lot here that's very interesting for me. First off, there's a clip we're going to look at later that's going pretty viral right now where Andrew didn't know something extremely important pertaining to this case, and it's a little difficult to watch. But that's really going viral, whereas here in this moment, there's something very important to the case that Candace, who's been researching this for months, didn't know or didn't remember, and that's not going as viral. It didn't seem or play off as uncomfortable. Now, the reason that Andrew's moment is much more uncomfortable is something we're going to discuss at great length later on in this analysis. But here, it's interesting that Candace didn't really remember that Tyler said in the text that you're going to see me in the footage, the campus footage. And they pull it up and she reads it and goes, oh, I'm glad we fact checked that. I just didn't say you were wrong. I just said I couldn't remember. But my really big question here is, why does this matter to Candace? Why would she want to bring this up and fact check it? She has said for months now that she doesn't believe these texts are legit. She doesn't believe that Tyler actually wrote these texts. So why are we now giving them any importance whatsoever? Why isn't she just saying it really doesn't matter what's in those texts? I don't really believe that he wrote this.
Exactly, because it's called she never wants to be wrong. Same way why she's sitting here talking about, well, I never said it, we have to all believe he's a pansy. Yes, she did. And her dumbass cult members go around copying and pasting her BS in everybody's comment sections on their videos, in the live streams, on X, in the X spaces, just trying to force people to believe this, or else they're going to say they're going to dox you and take it down your YouTube channels. How's that not coercion? It's almost like blackmail. No. If you don't say what we say later, like, we're going to take down your YouTube page. For what? I owe you nothing. That's how they do. No, say what I say, or else we will have you demonetized. And we'll dox you. Commit cyber crimes. So they try to use that against you to blackmail you. And put people's lives in danger by doxing them. They went to Gary's house and put graffiti on his property and destroyed his property, right? How many people have been doxxed because of this? Someone actually left a comment on X saying for me to be swatted. You mean? I responded to him and said, speak plain. How is this going to go? Let me know what date and time you coming so I can have my people ready. You talking about? That don't work on me. What's going on, Mama Sage? How you doing, honey? What's going on, S-Files? S-Files said, I know who he is. Do you now? He said, yeah, he's supposed to be using body language, but at the beginning he was talking about Andrew's tone and how he said it. Yeah. Like, what? I mean, we're supposed to be looking at facial expressions and posture and stuff like that, right? Similar to the Reed method. Yeah, that's why I like interrogations. C-Star said, dude thinks Candace is acting in good faith. Oh, he ain't. You know. Candace doesn't know how to even define the word good, let alone faith. She won't put her hand on the Bible, read the scripture, none of it. All the stuff she does is to drum up views, to be as conspiratorial as possible, to keep people tuning in and watching, like she's going to teach them something, and is doing the complete opposite of it. Lord, we thank you. Candace, I could care less about you profiting off of someone's death. But it's funny how her cult members seem to remind us all of that. She makes a lot of money doing this. We know. She makes a lot of money profiting off his death. Your cult members confirm this stuff, Candace. That's how stupid they are. Got the audacity to admit in messages they want people swatted. Now, you ain't even got to come in the middle of the night. Just tell me what time you're going to be here. You get your ass whooped and then you're going to go to jail. I don't play that. That's how crazy they are. So they force this nonsense and they blackmail influencers into believing they BS or to just not talk about her, I guess, or call her dumbass out. Or else they'll go actively work on taking your channel down and doxing you and putting your life in danger. Like everybody's going to play around with that nonsense? Nah.
A hyperbolic example to demonstrate what I'm saying. Imagine if I were to tell you, I don't believe that anybody on earth has the ability to fly. And you were to tell me, now hold on a minute, in the last Superman movie, I saw him fly. I wouldn't, or I don't think anybody on this planet would say, can we pull that up? Can we fact check that? I think pretty much everybody would say, what are you talking about? That's a movie. It's fiction. It's not real. It doesn't matter what's in there. The fact that she says, let's fact check that, and they pull it up and she gives it importance is rather interesting. And notice her verbal and nonverbal communication as she's reading that. For one thing, the speed of her speech is way faster. I watch this debate at 2 times the speed because it helps me get through it much faster. And usually I have no problem understanding what she's saying. But in this segment, I didn't have a clue what she was saying. You could try it yourself. Go down in YouTube. You could speed this video up to 2 times the speed. Go to any clip of her talking. You'll understand what she's saying. But in that segment, as she's looking at that text, it's completely unclear what she's saying. Then look how quickly she wants to move on from that, right? She goes, oh, I'm glad we fact checked that. I didn't say it didn't happen. I was saying I didn't remember. Can we not go to the 801? She immediately goes on to the next one, asks for the next thing that they were talking about. She wants to move on from this fast.
It's me. Okay. I literally said to you, it's not an oof. I said I didn't remember this, and I'm happy to have a fact check on that. Okay. I didn't.
She didn't remember. She didn't acknowledge it because she doesn't believe he was even there on the campus. So what difference would this make? Candace does not even believe he was on campus. So of course she doesn't read. She's an idiot and illiterate. I keep telling y'all that. She didn't read this because it doesn't fit her moot point. She said she is 0% sure he wasn't even there, let alone pull the trigger on the gun. So was George Farmer. George, we're waiting on your alibi, George. George. George, you know Candace is throwing you underneath the bus. She said you and Tyler Robinson shared an ice cream cone. Is that true? Yes. Candace, your husband is faking gay.
Call for the fact check saying you're wrong. I literally said I
Okay.
don't remember that from the
Well,
text
I'm just saying
messages.
to you, like,
Okay.
I'm trying to be concise for you.
And then also bring the 801 that you just said. What was the other one?
Yep, the 801.
Candace is a 304.
Tyler messages saying it's not hearsay.
Also notice how as she moves on from that topic and she looks back at the screen, we see a lot of activity with the lips.
Oh, God.
And again, it's not that typical raised compression, that
It's like
mouth
buddy,
shrug
yeah.
that she often does when she's making a point. Here it's these grooming gestures like this, which is all the gestures that we do to fix our appearance when we feel self-conscious. So I think there's quite a bit of self-consciousness here. And we've seen in moments of confidence that she confronts him. She speaks slowly and clearly. She pauses between her points. Here she's talking fast. She wants to move on from this. She's looking around.
never
There's
wants
that
to be
lip grooming. Let's move on. Look, I think the way that she's not immediately shutting down the fact that it doesn't matter what's in those texts, and she's bringing it up and looking at it and saying, I'm glad we fact checked that,
They feel
kind of gives a little bit of seed of doubt, maybe a little, 5%, maybe tiny, that she's not entirely convinced that the texts aren't real or from Tyler. Because if that were the case, she wouldn't be glad that they were fact checked. She wouldn't care what's in there. It's all fiction. Andrew's body language near the end here is remarkably overconfident and borderlining on the smug, because they're talking about hearsay, and she's saying a lot of it is hearsay, and they pull up a document that says, well, it's not all hearsay. And at the end, he's going like, doesn't it mean that that's not hearsay? And you notice this kind of chin forward, like challenging pose. In fact, universally, chin up and forward is associated to pride. Everywhere in the world, the body language of pride has this element of the chin forward. So he's got this pride over here looking at her like this. You'll notice the hand comes up like this, but it's different from before. Earlier it was here, like, okay, don't just hear me out. Here it's hand up like this with the chin up as he goes, now hold on. Doesn't that mean that it's not hearsay? So this is a stop, like stop. I want you to acknowledge here that it's not all.
because Candace doesn't stop. She's listening to just make the next statement because she doesn't want to look like she's wrong. Let's go back to the fact that she didn't read anything about him saying, well, be on the lookout for these images or whatever. She didn't read none of that stuff because she knows it is counterproductive for her dumbass conspiracy theories. She doesn't believe he was even there. Then she lied and said he went to some smokehouse restaurant that he did not go to because no evidence puts him there. She will make up fake text messages and fake emails and fake incident letters just to fit her moot point that no judge in the court of law gives a damn about. She'll go out her way to lie and create fake forged texts and emails. One coming from the Department of Defense. Did the behavior analyst know that? Did he know she was doing that? She go out her way to lie. Lie like hell. Candace lie like hell is hot. This is what she's happily doing. Candace doesn't care. She just wants to be right. And anything that makes her look dead ass wrong, she's like, okay, move on. I don't care. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Blink rate starts picking up. She starts blinking 80 miles an hour. I mean, because she knows, okay, either she's ignorant to something or she's lying about it. Being ignorant is having the lack of knowledge, meaning she ain't read nothing. So she has no idea what he said. Candace doesn't care about this. She took the $300,000. Her job was done because she's a demon.
Hearsay. There's also a very bizarre face touch right there at the end where as he's listening to her like this with that chin forward, like, I got you on this one, probably thinking to himself that he totally cooked. We see this finger go across the neck like this. Now, it's obviously just an itch or a bead of sweat or something like that. And I'm not typically an analyst who reads too much into these isolated odd gestures, but it stood out to me in this moment that while he's really overconfident here and thinking that he really got her, we see this kind of gesture like that. I don't know. It was just an odd time for it. Really quickly, for the sake of being complete, I want to touch on what Candace said there at the end, and Andrew as well. because they're talking about Lance's interview that we covered on the channel a couple of weeks ago. If you want to see that analysis, I'll leave a link in the description. But they're talking about this whole hearsay thing and how the defense argued that they would have liked to cross-examine him. But it's important to remember, and Candace knows this, she acknowledges it in the debate, that a hearing, a preliminary hearing, has a very different standard for evidence than an actual trial. Yes, at a trial, she's right. They can't play this video. But this video is just part of the hearing for the judge to see what the prosecution has in order to go after Tyler Robinson. For him to go, okay, there's enough here to go to trial. Then at trial, yes, they can't use that recorded interview. They would have to bring Lance in. That way the defense gets to cross-examine him. But in a lot of states, they don't use preliminary hearings. They use grand juries. And with a grand jury, the defense isn't even there. There is no cross-examination. So in a preliminary hearing, the defense does have a lot more participation than if it were a grand jury. But even with that, the rules for hearsay are very different. Okay, now we're going to look at a clip where Andrew is using a tactic in this debate that came up early on and then much later. That gives us a bit of insight as to how he's approaching this thing. And a question by Patrick that is one of the biggest contributions, not just to this debate, but to this entire conversation, and gives us some very interesting insight. But before we do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on, and take a quick second to like this video because it really does help with the success of the channel.
Yeah, hit the like on this video. Hit that like button. We're at it today. Hit that like button for me, y'all. We're almost halfway through. So we'll see by the time I hit the 30-minute mark where we are. But we're halfway through it. Because I do want to get to the other videos I have lined up in today's live. Because I know I didn't go live about Candace yesterday. Candace, you got some thonk heads and chicken heads that are out here getting more attention than you. You have no idea. Can't make this up. And Candace is exhausting. Like, she's been at this for a year and she can't even tell you who she thinks pulled the trigger on the gun. I mean, it's so stupid.
Also, for those of you who are on Spotify, I recently started a page there as well because they're doing full-length videos now. So it's the same content from this channel. It's just over there for those of you who prefer it when you're on the go. So if you're on there, I could really use the help. I'll leave a link in the description. Go check it out. Leave a couple of comments. It'll really help me big time. See you there. Okay, before we look at this next clip, there's something I'm going to include here, which I was hesitant about because it has less to do with behavioral analysis and much more to do with profiling, which is something that I teach and that I've been applying as an entertainer for more than 20 years.
If you profile, how in the world did you come to the conclusion that Candace is acting in good faith? There is nothing about this she's doing in good faith. She did it for the money. Didn't you, Candace, you dumb demon? She also said she is Legion. There's nothing that she's doing about this that's good faith, anything. Good or faith. Or both words together. None of it. She did it because she knew I said, Candace, you're stupid. You do this for the money. Your cult members tell us this all the time. Stand on it, you dumb demon. You're stupid. Take the money. You can sit there and be a dumbass for 3 or 4 hours. And guess what? She was. Candace.
Because as a mentalist, when I bring somebody up on stage and I'm doing what's called a cold reading, which is telling them things about themselves and their personality and how they think and their lives, that's basically profiling for entertainment. So I noticed this thing in the debate and I texted my friends who are profilers, psychologists, psychiatrists, and they said, you have to talk about it because it really demonstrates why certain things are playing out the way that they are. So here it is. So in profiling and code reading, there's this thing that we do where we try to identify somebody's source of confidence. So if somebody comes off as confident, why is that? Is it their physical appearance? Is it their material assets? Is it their credentials or accomplishments? And in a lot of cases, it's their intelligence. Either this person is or believes themselves to be very intelligent, and their confidence comes from that. So with that said, both Candace and Andrew have intellectual confidence. And that's not a compliment, it's not an insult, it just is. They both seem to derive confidence from their own perceived intelligence and information, but it's a little bit different in the way it plays out. Candace Owens values and sometimes overvalues her own conclusions. Andrew Wilson values and sometimes overvalues his own thoughts. And that's a different thing. It's the same confidence, but it's at a different place in the process. You see, Andrew is one of those people who thinks that a thought is really valid and really clever because it came from his brain. So we often see, not just in this debate, but in other debates, when he's talking and he has a thought and people don't get it or don't agree with him, he gets extremely impatient really quick because how dare they not agree? He thought of this. It's brilliant. With Candace, there have been moments where that kind of thing has happened, but more often than not, she compiles evidence and then she starts to put it together. And once she puts it together and she feels that she has a conclusion that she's happy with because of all this work that she did, that's where she gets really confident. This also probably explains why I would guess more people find Andrew more irritating than Candace. And he knows that, by the way. At the end of the debate, he said that he's not the most likable guy.
I'm not the most likable man. I understand that too.
This is part of the reason why that happens, because his confidence or overconfidence kicks in earlier in the process than hers. So she gives people a bit more of a chance to kind of go along with it before she locks in, whereas he's locked in right in the beginning. I thought of this, it's genius. And with that in mind, let's take a look at this next clip.
Every point that you've brought up, did you feel like this is beyond a reasonable doubt? I mean, you realize
remember what I said in my opening.
Going to be
it's not beyond a reasonable doubt.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what I find convincing is what I find overwhelming.
So why are you so upset when people say they don't find it
if
convincing?
that was the limitation of the claims that you made, if it was just, wait a second, there's a little bit of problems. There's some problems in this case that I have questions for that I want answers to. Nobody have a problem, actually. At least of all me. I'm sure there's tons of.
Candace won't even acknowledge the fact that the prosecutors in the state of Utah, sweet Jesus, is spearheading this case. She keeps giving credit to the damn FBI because she keeps lying about FedSlop and blah, blah, blah. She won't even be honest and factual about who is spearheading the case. This girl throws all of reality and logic out of the window. She's only said that once, and that was right after she met with Erica Kirk. And then started back doubling down on this FedSlop dump, because that's what her cult members are chanting when they're worshiping her shrine at night. Like basic information, she's not even admitting to that because this dumb alien crash landed on our planet and had like legions of demons inside of her. And somehow can't acknowledge, at the very least, that the state of Utah prosecutors are spearheading this case. While she's too stupid to Google many other murder trials where the FBI assisted in the state's case, assisted prosecutors that had jurisdiction over the matter. Candace, don't act like you don't know about the word jurisdiction. You're trying to get a whole lawsuit dismissed based on jurisdiction. Keep playing stupid, you little dummy girl. And make this stop.
People who remain unconvinced yet until we get to the trial. I think that's fine. I think it's fine. There's people who are convinced too. That's never been my problem. My problem is the claims which are external to that.
Okay. I'm not sure I really care if you have a problem with what I think in my own spare time.
No. It's not what you think. It's you saying that you have factual evidence. You had evidence to prove that it was a fact that Tyler Robinson did not do it. When asked, she said yes. That's not based on your opinions. Facts are not your opinions. Facts are based on the truth, supported with evidence and documentation. You can prove it. It is a fact that 2 + 2 is 4. Hold up 2 fingers, add 2 more fingers, 4 fingers is what you're going to come up with when you count them all together. Because her dumbass cult members don't do that. You know, they don't know what 2 + 2 is. Of course not. They think that her opinions are facts. No, it's not. That is not even a definition of that word. Facts have nothing to do with your feelings either. That's why we bless God that this court could care less that Candace is roaming the earth.
I don't understand this like lecture that you just gave. But beyond that, what I'm saying is that
What
if the state
lecture?
is allowed to use,
I didn't
this is
lecture
what
you.
this is what my problem is. You guys are not like, yeah, you guys think while it's still legal. You can. You are allowed to do that. So, but anyway,
Nobody said you
going
can't.
back to
Your thinking is stupid because you won't even admit the fact that the state prosecutors in Utah are spearheading this case. You keep giving credit to the FBI because the state is not the feds. Two different levels of government that your cult members still refuse to research and Google. Feds does not equal state. Two different levels of government. Sweet Jesus.
you saying I wouldn't have a problem. I think I just demonstrated pretty thoroughly that what you claim that you have a problem with is exactly what the state is engaged in at this stage. So,
Okay, so a few things here. First off, we're going right back to what I said earlier, that they're saying the same thing. He made a good point, and then she gave a good rebuttal, because he said, my problem isn't thinking and saying, okay, this doesn't make sense. I'd like to know more about this. There's no problem with that. And of course, as a behavioral analyst, I agree. That's literally our process. And the problem is taking that and jumping to a conclusion. And she's biting back by saying, after he says all that, she goes, but that's what you're doing. You're looking at what the state is presenting, and it's a bunch of things that to me aren't concrete, and you're jumping to a conclusion as well. So again, we're going right back to that. They're saying the same thing, just on different conclusions. Now, let's talk about Andrew's whole overwhelming evidence thing, because in the beginning...
Okay, I'm going to pause it here because I wanted to get through half of this today, and we'll finish it up tomorrow. So we'll time step it at 30 minutes, 23, 30. Oh, on the nail. Y'all see that? 30. Because I have some other videos I want to get to. Jim, no, you're fine. Because I think that this is the beauty of being able to disagree with even some of the content that we check out here. To me, he sounds like he's being more biased than necessary. He doesn't need to be biased at all. You can say both of them suck. I mean, really. But be able to give, your analysis based on, it's supposed to be a behavioral analysis. And it was supposed to be solely based on body language. Is that my understanding? He's kind of dipping into, the tone and expressions as well as body language. And that's fine if that's what he's doing. It's the behavioral analysis. So behavioral could include, the tone in which you say things, your thought process, profiling, as opposed to strictly sticking with body language. To me, those are two different things. Y'all might disagree. So he's doing a behavioral analysis. That's a little different. It includes a little bit more than just body language. I could be wrong. But whether I agree with everything he says or not is relevant. I mean, there's just gonna be things I disagree with. But it's okay. That's the most important point to remember. We're not gonna always agree, and that's fine. I don't agree with everything he's saying, but I understand what he's doing. Let me put it like that. So I understand this being a behavioral analysis. He is tuning into the thought process and the way they're saying things, the tone, facial expressions, body language, all those things, overall. Does it make sense? So, shout out to the behavioral guy, behavior arts. Shout out to him. What's his name? Lord have mercy. You might know his name. Okay, shout out to the behavioral guy. I do want to get to the next one. You got up. Natalie Beasley.
There is a lot to catch up.
Front of the room. Candace Owens keeps demanding footage of Charlie Kirk's death. Why? Candace, no one owes you that. Y'all shout out to Natalie. Natalie, Lisa knows so many people have been subjected to doxing because Candace is a moron. Candace, tell your cult members I'm different. Yeah, I see my comment. I literally told the clown, swatting who? Speak plain to me on X. Because they want to knock if you buck over there. No, we buck back. Fuck you mean? These clowns are weird. But Candace, no, I don't play that. I don't play that. Mm-mm. Candace, I told you I will sue your ass. You'll be a co-defendant either way. Shout out to Natalie Beesner. Let's find out why Candace thinks she's entitled to something she's not entitled to.
On you guys, but first I want to show you this compilation that I made of all the times since September. She actually started in on it very quickly, very early on September 25th, so just about 2 weeks after Charlie's assassination. All the times that I could find since September that Candace Owens demanded footage, additional footage of Charlie being shot and killed, different angles, all of that, demanded it from TPUSA, demanded it from their cohorts, their audiovisual company that they contracted, etc. And not only demanded it like she was entitled to it, but also poo-pooed the idea that Erica Kirk might not want this footage out there, that Erica Kirk might not want additional angles of her husband and the father of her children being murdered online. Poo-pooed the idea that Charlie's friends, that his family, that his parents might not want additional footage of this happening out there. And, poo-pooed the idea that his fans, the people who actually cared about him and respected him might not want additional footage out there. So, most of us, when we saw the footage of Charlie being shot, we saw it against our will, right? So for me personally, I saw the far away right away that day. And then I accidentally saw the closer up, and it looked pretty bad, right? And then I spent like the next hour and a half, I think it was, sitting in my car. I was in a gym parking lot, just like refreshing, praying, called my mom, was crying. But anyways, the point is, most of us saw it against our will. We saw the moment that Charlie lost his life, essentially. Medical professionals say that he probably, was gone on the spot, in the sense of like, there was no real chance. And so it is normal that we would not want additional footage out there, right? It's normal that we don't want to see different angles of Charlie being assassinated out there. And you'll remember that the footage that TPUSA has, it's not like a little, I'm filming it on my phone far away in the crowd and then zooming in. It's 4K footage that they have set up, right next to him under the tent. And so it's clear footage, hefty footage of the moment Charlie lost his life. And she's been doing this thing since September where she demands the footage, especially the footage from the back is what she wanted, right? And she even played that on her show. At one point, a couple months ago, we did a video on it where she was playing it, rewinding, slowing down, playing it, just with a lifeless look in her eyes. Didn't seem to be fazed at all. And she said it was fine because there was no blood from the back. So there was really nothing to worry about. And that's been her MO throughout all of this of, hey, you know what? I, Candace Owens, demand this footage, and I say that it's fine if this footage is out there because, number one, some of it has no blood, and number two, we already saw Charlie Kirk die, so it doesn't matter if we watch it again from a different angle. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that. First of all, seeing additional angles of Charlie Kirk being murdered is not actually helping anybody. It's not helping the pseudo investigation that Candace pretends she's doing. It's not solving whatever happened to Charlie. It's literally serving no purpose whatsoever. And we do not need additional footage of the moment that he lost his life out there on the internet. We don't need people to be watching that. We don't need leftists to be mocking it. Just like we don't need them to know where his grave is because, yes, people will violate that gravesite. We don't need this, okay? Charlie's not coming back. And seeing every single angle, every single piece of footage that exists from that day of
Candace, you are a dumb demon. Why would you even want to watch someone be assassinated? I don't care if you know them or not. Is that stuff you just watch arbitrarily, Candace? Just people being shot? Because the footage I have, I saw it was gruesome. The bullet in, blood come out of his neck, spraying out. Like I saw all that. What do you mean? Candace wants to watch that over and over again. That's demonic. Candace, you are a demon. And somehow she wants to be in the presence of anyone else. I just don't even want the kids around her right now. She got some sadistic stuff going on in her head. Candace, this is why you trying to sit here and take up for somebody that took 3 of their kids out of here. Are you thinking about doing the same, Candace? When you going into labor again? With this ghost pregnancy? Make this up.
The moment that he was shot is not actually helping anyone. And you also have no right to it because you are not a person who is a part of the investigation. You are not a person with any kind of authority. You have no right to demand this footage. But it's not just the entitlement. It is the way that she's so cavalier, so callous about, again, additional images of her friend being murdered, being put out there on the internet for everyone to see, including Charlie's children, his parents, his widow, who we know she doesn't care about, and leftists to see and to mock and to use and to manipulate and all of that. And it's just been something that's been so striking to me this whole time. And so I wanted to, because she did it again when she appeared with Anna Kasparian this week, because of course, right, she's friends with all of Charlie's enemies, but she did it again where she poo-pooed this idea that anyone might want to hold back footage from that day, that TPUSA might want to hold back footage from that day. And so then I thought, you know what, let me go back and find all the times that I have compiled where she's done that same thing, including starting 2 weeks after Charlie's assassination. And I just think it's very telling. I think that there's something inhumane about this. I think there's something inhuman about this response. And this is what she does. Not only is she entitled, but she likes to twist very normal human things, innocuous things, like saying, hey, yeah, actually, we don't need more footage of Charlie being murdered out on the internet. Just because we all already saw it accidentally doesn't mean we need more footage, okay? We've already got images etched into our brain. We don't need more. But she acts like that's a mark of suspicion against someone. So go ahead and give this a watch.
First thing he said was, he wanted to secure the footage because he didn't want Erica to see Charlie die in 4K. And I said, Terrell, we all just watched Charlie die. Like, they're not saving her from that inevitability because, that's the whole thing. It was a live stream.
Why would she need to see it again and again and again, you dummy? You're not on the jury. You're not a party to the case. Candace, you are insignificant in the grand scheme of TPUSA or Erica Kirk's life. They owe you nothing, you dumb demon. She said she is Legion? Okay. Candace, why would you think they would want a demon to see someone be murdered over and over again? I mean, you could just look these videos up online, right? Aren't you on the black market over there, Candace? You and your cult members, because y'all go out doxing people. What software programs are y'all using to find people? To dox and swat them? Because I'm almost sure, Candace, your IP address will show up somewhere out there on the dark web. Candace, you're not the only person that gets information, you dumbass. How dumb is this gonna get? This helpful thinking. No, you're supposed to show this all to me and no one else. Not even the law enforcement or the prosecutors. No, don't show them. Just show me. What? They're about Felicia. What you talking about? Who watches that? Y'all, I can only watch that video. The video I have, and I've told y'all this 1,000 times. The recorder was on the second row from Charlie Kirk with that tent. I mean, he was right there. And I was like, all right, I saw this a couple times. I'm good. Can't keep watching this. Because, I mean, who knew? Like, seeing that in real time in my era, like, she keep referencing JFK, but she wasn't alive with concede when JFK was shot. Like, I've never seen that like in real time like that. It's insane. And she wants to watch this over and over again on auto repeat. because she is Legion. All these demonic spirits just summed up into one dumb alien.
We all watched this already. It's all over the internet and it's from the front. Why would you grab the back footage if that was your concern? And then he told me that I said, could you just send it to me? Because I'm not going to show the footage. I just want to see it so I can then defend you on my platform, which was my intention to say, hey guys, like this is the reason he did this. Maybe a police officer told him to grab all the footage. I hadn't put the pieces together yet.
No, they don't. You don't need to defend nothing because they didn't do anything illegal, you dumbass. What was the illegality in it? What was illegal? Because here's the thing. See here. The fact that they were recorded taking it down, don't you think the police officers saw that as well? Don't you think the investigators saw that? Candace, you're a moron. They've seen a lot more than you can even conceive. There are terabytes of data. We all know you don't know what terabyte is, so Google it and look it up. They knew exactly what happened by the end of the week. They don't need you to defend a damn thing. Absolutely not. Why would she defend what? He didn't break the law. Candace is not a police officer. What I tell you all, she keeps impersonating federal investigators. And she's not a commissioned police officer. She's not a federal investigator. She's not an investigator of any sort. Not even a journalistic one. Why would they need to be defended when they didn't do anything wrong? That's the last thing you want to hear someone say. Well, I can defend you. No, you can't. You're not an attorney. What you mean? Defend me from what? Like, who says that? Seriously. What you didn't defend them from? They would have to be charged with a crime. Why would you defend someone when they haven't done anything wrong? So what offense was committed for you to feel like there needs to be a defense? Candace, I know these are words that you don't understand or know how to spell. But I'll give you a minute to research and Google this stuff and look it up. In order for you to defend someone, then that means that there was some offense that was initiated. So what violation of law occurred here?
And he told me, well, I don't know how to send a file that big. And I said, Terrell, you run an audiovisual company. You know how to send big files. Like you can use WeTransfer, you can use Google. And then he said he was worried that Google was going to hack him. I mean, these are just totally, frankly, bizarre excuses for not showing me the footage. I would have happily.
Yeah, no, because there's nothing bizarre about saying Fed slop when the feds are not spearheading the case. And it's the state, a whole new level of government. Yeah, no, there's nothing weird about that. Yeah, because Candace is an idiot.
Gone to him, I would have jumped on a Zoom call, and I was like, "Hey, you're acting really strange." I told him that. I said, "Oh, this is all very weird. Like, what would Google hack you for? For the purpose of then showing the footage that we've all seen? Like, we're all going to see Charlie die again? Like, what?" Exactly 1 week after Charlie's assassination, to reach out to him, I called him. And he was exceedingly nervous. He stammered through a great many nonsensible excuses. I did it to protect Erica, he said. I wanted to secure the footage for Erica so that she wouldn't have to see the footage of Charlie being shot in 4K. Okay, clocked you on another lie. Because that was
not a lie. What's his name? Terrell. Stop answering her. Tell her, Lady Luck Club told me to tell you to kick rocks and jump off a bridge. Bye. What you mean? Clocked you on another lie. What did he lie about? Candace, that's how he feels. He has his right to his opinions. That's what he thinks and believes. See that? Candace, I told you two could play this game, you dumb witch. This is what happens when y'all let these aliens crash land on our planet and they don't know how to get the hell on and go home and leave us alone.
It was already a foregone conclusion. The entire world had just witnessed Charlie Kirk bleeding out. Okay, you can't save Erica from the internet already circulating these clips to the tune of billions of people who watched it worldwide.
You know, just
that
torture her for no reason.
he had spoken only to Erica and the feds that he had regarding the footage. That is, he specifically told me that, as I said earlier, that he had secured that footage because he wanted to prevent Erica, as I told you, from having to relive that moment. And that made entirely no sense to me.
That's
I told you
how it
guys,
feels.
because we all can watch Charlie Kirk be murdered over and over and over and over and over again. So how are you sparing any emotions here by taking down the back footage? And then it made even less sense to me and appeared to me as a lie once I saw the footage on FaceTime, when I realized that there was no blood on Charlie. So it was the least traumatizing footage of all. Why be so secretive about it? Let's just pretend that that does happen.
You say you saw this evidence on FaceTime. From who? Candace. You know what you did? Yeah, no. You got all that stored in your phone. You know, that data that the FBI or prosecutors in the state of Utah could get a warrant to get out of your device because you're dumb. You told on yourself. They could get that out of your device. Y'all see why the devil will always lose. Yeah, like they can't get a search warrant. What you mean? Girl. She told on herself. She recorded it on FaceTime. That means you went through a platform. The FaceTime platform. And guess what they have? Backup servers. Boy, what the devil means for evil, God will turn it around in your favor. Backup servers. So for whatever Candace thinks she's deleted, no, they can just subpoena FaceTime. You know, the platform designer that's allowing you to be able to do that. No, yeah, they can just go after the company. Because, see, this stuff is never truly deleted, Candace. And the person you were FaceTiming, you know what they'll do? They'll just contact them. And because they're really deep down scared of law enforcement and the FBI and prosecutors and investigators, they will cooperate to the fullest extent of the damn law, girl. Meanwhile, you thinking you deleting something out your phone is not how that goes. Oh, no. Because now she said she was using the FaceTime platform, so we'll just subpoena them. We'll contact them and have them give us the video. Candace, you put your foot in your mouth. Every time you open your mouth, you tell on yourself. And then you want to see and get mad at everybody else for pointing it out. You moron. I'm not sparing her. I hope the prosecutors in the state of Utah see this. I hope they do. Because now you're forcing and pressuring people to show you evidence you are not entitled to see. We don't owe demons nothing. Especially when you've seen it talking about you legion. We owe you nothing. You and the devil are both a liar.
For whatever reason, Sergey Brin is sitting around and he's going, I want to hack this person because I want to see footage behind Charlie's head. Does it. Whatever. And then he gives the footage to Fox News.
You hacked
CNN. And they play it. And what happens after that? I said to him, oh, I know what happens after. We all get to see Charlie Kirk die from a different angle. We've seen it die from 1,000 different angles. Like what is actually changing if Google hacks you? Weird. A weird thing to say. Me is the fact that Turning Point will not release the footage. Okay.
You said somebody hacked into what now? Because you know you like telling on yourself and make this up. So there's a white hat hacker or a hacker out here getting people's information. Candace, is that how they're doxing people? You got somebody to hack into something? Did you pay that person? Well, all that blackmail is something else. For whatever reason, Sergey who?
Brin is sitting around and he's
Sergey Brin. Who is Sergey Brin? Candace, you see how you keep telling on yourself? Now you done told on this person. Who is Sergey Brin? Oh, I'm here for this. Candace, see, this is what being a good independent journalist is all about. Asking questions. Real questions. Sergey Brin is hacking into devices. Candace, is Sergey Brin being paid by you to get information on people and hack into their devices? Remote? To get their information to dox them? Is that how that goes? Sergey Brin sends you and Brian Coleman. What's his name? The dumb one. Baron Coleman. Baron Coleman information to dox people. How's that going again, Candace?
Going, I want to hack this person.
How? I want to hack this person. Candace. This is going to be reported to the FBI. Who is Sergey Brin? Y'all know that? Y'all know that person? Y'all ever heard of them? Oh, Mindy. Thank you, honey. Ew. Anyone heard of Sergey Brin? Thank you for the super chat, Mindy. Mindy said, oh, it's going to be a good day. Thank you for the $5 super. LLC, guess what? Harper's attorney filed a response to Mitch Snow. Check your X notifications. Oh, it's a good day. Oh, we sure will after this. Anyone heard of Sergey Brin? Let me know. Sergey Brin, Candace just threw you underneath the bus. She said you hack. You're a hacker. That's a crime, right? It's a felony. Sergey. Y'all see this? I keep telling y'all, Candace is dumb. She just threw this man out here. Sergey Brin. Candace just threw you underneath the bus and accused you of being a hacker. Hackers go to jail in the United States of America. We don't play that.
I want to see footage behind Charlie's head. Does it? Whatever.
He does it? Whatever. Hacking is illegal. You stupid demon. Y'all see what I mean? She telling us. Candace, you want to keep committing, telling us about all these crimes that you're aware of? Sounds like some co-conspirator crimes you committing over there. You know that he hacked into some device to see the footage, which is illegal. And you're saying whatever. Is that correct, Candace? You and your Legion demons is just sitting here breaking laws and y'all cool with that?
And then he gives the footage to Fox News. CNN.
So Fox News is being implicated, CNN, all from Sergey Brin, who's a hacker, breaking laws. Hacking is illegal. Again, it's just so stupid.
And they play it. And what happens after that? I said to him, oh, I know what happens after. We all get to see Charlie Kirk die from a different angle. We've seen.
No one wants to see that but you demon. You're evil and sadistic. No one wants to see that. That's the difference. Plus, that's evidence that the jury needs to see. And what does it prove, Candace? Because you don't know how blood works. Or, arteries and veins in the neck. None of that. Or bullets or guns. You were literally confessing to Sergey Brin hacking a device. Getting evidence that he is not entitled to get either. Yeah, keep throwing you and Sergey Brin underneath the bus.
He did die from 1,000 different angles. Like, what is actually changing if Google hacks you? Weird. A weird thing to say. Me is the fact that Turning Point will not release the footage, okay? I don't understand it. Every excuse that I have been handed for why they won't release it makes no sense to me.
Hey, Adam.
If you are under pressure, if people are starting to look at you funny as an organization, if they're thinking that whether rightfully or wrongfully, if they are suspecting because they see this footage of someone quickly remove the SD cards, that you guys had something to do with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and you quite literally have footage that in theory should vindicate yourself, why wouldn't you release it? Think about that. It's just in your own capacity. If somebody is saying you are guilty of anything, they're like, Candace, you are absolutely guilty.
No one is accusing accusing this man of being guilty of anything but you. And no one cares what you think or feel. This is Sergey Brin. Sergey Milkolovich Brin is an American computer scientist and entrepreneur, best known for co-founding Google with Larry Page and serving as president of his parent company Alphabet Inc. until 2019. Born in the Soviet Union, he immigrated to the U.S. Why come over here and commit crimes again? You hacked into something you had no business or right to hack into. Candace threw you out here. Hackers are hackers. It's illegal. You can't make this up. You know, we should just have him deported next to George Farmer. Your bum ass out of our country committing crimes.
To my car. And I'm like, I have a camera right here that shows that I did not break into your car. Would it make sense if I was like, but I'm not going to release that? I'm not going to release that. Because it's...
Well, because he committed no crime. He took the SD card and put it in his pocket and gave it to law enforcement. He owed you nothing. The hell you mean?
It's not right. It's not right for me to release. What?
You're bye.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, kick rocks.
I don't understand why they would not release this. The idea that it's because the feds are saying the feds cannot arrest you. Last I checked, the feds cannot bring charges against you for releasing footage that you own.
Right. Wow. So you see that there. And again, starting September 25th is when she started that. She started all of this, again, pseudo investigation September 15th. So less than a week after Charlie's assassination. And if you are someone who thinks that Candace Owens didn't start in right away on the Israel did it thing or the TPUSA did it thing, you need to go back and watch her episodes from the weeks in September after Charlie's assassination. She started on it right away on the idea that Israel was suspicious, that TPUSA was suspicious. She laid that groundwork right away. There's so much to catch up on this week, and we're going to, have to do that. We're not going to be able to do it all today, but I did want to clue you guys in on this and then show you a reaction from Baron Coleman. So Andrew Wilson last night did drop the messages from Charlie on his live, the messages that he teased during the debate a couple weeks ago, where Charlie was saying expressly that he was worried the left was going to murder him. This was sent the night before Charlie's assassination to a member of his security team. And before I show you what Baron Coleman wrote, which is just so completely insane, again, the Candace cultists are acting like this. They're trying to twist it as if it's some type of victory for them because, it shows that Erica Kirk is a liar. No, it does not show Erica Kirk is a liar. Again, Candace Owens herself, the Queen Bee herself, said back in December, the day after her sit down with Erica, that Erica said that these messages exist, that Erica confirmed the existence of these messages and said that she had been mistaken when she went on the Glenn Beck show a couple days prior and said these messages didn't exist because she was looking in iMessage on Charlie's phone and the messages were in Telegram or Signal. Candace said that herself, and yet the cultists have burned that part out of their brain because that's what Candace does. She manipulates the timeline. She manipulates the audience. She pretends like she didn't say things she actually said. And so slowly over the course of months since December, Candace has conditioned her audience to believe that last we heard from Erica, she was denying the existence of these messages on the Glenn Beck program, but that's not actually the case. The case is that Candace herself said Erica acknowledged these messages exist back in December and that she cleared up a lot for her during their one-on-one sit down. But her audience wasn't having that. And so Candace decided, you know what, I'm going to go after Erica Kirk, which I believe was always the plan because there was really no other way about it. Erica is either a hapless, idiotic victim like these people think Charlie was, or she's in on it. There's no third way. And so it was always inevitable. But she has, again, conditioned her audience to forget the episode that she did the day after her sit down with Erica, where she actually said it was very refreshing. Erica cleared up a lot for me, including these messages. So now we're just all supposed to forget that happened. And the cult actually has forgotten that happened. And so they're acting as if this is proof, these messages that Andrew released, that this is proof that Erica lied. No, it's not. Erica acknowledged the existence of these messages back in December, according to Candace Owens. It's actually the opposite. What these messages do is further prove that Candace Owens was lying in her public statements, because Candace Owens said after Andrew Wilson teased these messages during the debate, Candace came out and said, well, Erica told me back in December during our one-on-one sit down that the messages were on Signal and that they were automatically disappearing. Now, Erica didn't tell her that because Candace would have said it the day after her sit down with Erica. She didn't say anything of the sort. So again, she's shifting the narrative. She said, Erica said these messages were on Signal and they were automatically disappearing, but I know Erica lied because they're on iMessage, and I know that for a fact. These messages are not on iMessage. I'm not familiar with Signal or Telegram and the way that looks or works, but this is not an iMessage app, okay? So number one, that's Candace being caught out on a lie, her saying for sure these are iMessage. Then again, her twisting the narrative. She came out the day after her sit down with Erica, said, yeah, Erica said these messages exist, that they're just on Signal or Telegram, and she didn't see them initially. Then she completely ignored the messages for a very long time, and she pretended like Erica never acknowledged the existence of the messages. Then when Andrew said, hey, I have these messages and I'm going to drop them on my show, Candace decided to acknowledge the messages again, acknowledge that Erica had acknowledged the messages again, and say, oh, but Erica told me that they were on Signal and that they were automatically disappearing, but I know that she was lying because I know they're on iMessage. Well, now we see a screenshot. These are not on iMessage, okay? And they don't seem to be automatically disappearing to me because we've got a screenshot, which means they weren't automatically disappearing, at least right after being sent, right? So all of that I know can get a little convoluted, but if you're not paying attention, you don't actually see what is happening here and the way that the timeline is shifting, the way that the narrative is shifting, the way that history is being rewritten in real time, essentially. Well, anyway, this was Baron Coleman's response after Andrew dropped the messages last night. And I just thought it was so rich. He's saying, you either let Charlie rest in peace or you drop messages that contradict his public statements and make him look, like a hypocrite. Well, number one, Candace Owens and Baron Coleman are doing their darndest to not let Charlie rest in peace. And Candace is the one who started all of this with releasing Charlie's private messages, which I personally find disgusting, okay? I don't love any of it. However, Candace is the one who was releasing messages that did, contradict what Charlie was saying, at least publicly, with the leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause, right? Because publicly, Charlie never left the pro-Israel cause. And he sent that message. He had 48 hours to, if he was so convicted about it, the way these people suggest that he was done. He had 48 hours to do a live, to tell people, to tweet it out, and he did not, which suggests that he was not that convicted about it. But what did Candace do? She released that private message that he sent. We don't know what kind of mindset he was in when he sent it, and it contradicts what Charlie said publicly. Now, I don't personally care about it because Charlie was a three-dimensional person and he had moods and he said things he didn't mean sometimes, I'm sure. And he probably wrestled with things. He was nuanced. Not everything, he wasn't a cardboard cutout where everything was exactly just so. So personally, I don't care. But Candace is the one who refuses to let him rest in peace if she has a say about it. Luckily, she does not. Only our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, does. And she's the one who's releasing messages that contradict who he publicly purported.
And it said he was in purgatory and was practicing Catholicism. Like, Candace says dumb things. She's a demon. That's why it's like, no one cares with Candace. Like, Candace does not have any sway in court because of the dumb crap she says. That's still a nowhere near truth. She's like, I believe he's in purgatory. We don't care about what you believe. You say you're a legion. You admitted to being a demon. She lies like hell. And you have idiots like Baron Coleman, who should be disbarred, amplifying her nonsense and buffoonery and cyber crimes when he's out here aiding and doxing. Candace, are you getting Sergey Brin to hack into people's devices or Google accounts? Is that how you're doxing people? Your cult members think swatting is fun. Somehow Sergey Brin thinks he can supersede a court order or a subpoena. How'd that go? This helper literally just threw a whole hacker out here. Candace, we would not have known who he was had you not said that. Now we got to worry about Sergey Brin hacking into our accounts, doxing us because he hacked into a whole SD card that was uploaded to Google and sent the video out to various news crews. And for what? Because see, in the court of law, Tyler Robinson is still in jail. He's the suspect. He did it based on the evidence. He's going to trial. His attorneys confirmed that he shot Charlie Kirk. They're not even denying that he shot Charlie Kirk. They're trying to say he shouldn't get the death penalty because he only shot Charlie Kirk. Candace, even his own defense attorneys are confirming that he facilitated the act of killing Charlie Kirk. You and Baron Coleman are going against his own defense attorneys. Do you know how retarded you and Baron Coleman really are? That's how retarded they are. They're disputing Tyler Robinson's own defense attorneys who confirmed that Tyler Robinson did it. And they confirmed it in a whole pleading to the court. You know, a hard word you don't understand, Candace. Why don't you ask Baron Coleman, what's a pleading? Because we all know you don't know. How stupid she is. That's why I'm so glad the defense attorneys are ignoring Candace's existence. You're unimportant, you moron. Go read a book.
To be, including going back to his early messages from when he was in his early 20s, talking about like a third eye and all that kind of stuff or whatever. That is not the Charlie that we knew. That's not the mature, wise man that we knew who was deep in his faith. So yeah, I'm not mad that those messages exist. I'm not mad that Charlie was a normal man who went from a younger man to an older, more mature man, and that happened, or that he wrestled with topics publicly or privately. That doesn't upset me. But Candace is the one who is releasing messages that contradict what he said throughout the latter portion of his career, at least. So it's just the lack of self-awareness is truly stunning. And by the way, these messages that Andrew released, they don't contradict anything Charlie said publicly, because publicly he had concerns about the left. He knew that the left was threatening him. And yeah, if they had their druthers, they would seriously harm him, if not fatally harm him. So no, there's nothing that's contradictory here. Do I love that we're using Charlie's private messages for content? No, I do not. But, you know, Candace is the one that started it. And I guess thank God for people like Andrew Wilson or Laura Loomer who are willing to attempt to beat Candace at her own game. You know, I don't love any of this.
Yeah, Candace is not even smart enough to keep up with Andrew Wilson. I'm just going to say that right now. Now, Candace, you're not even smart enough to keep up with Andrew Wilson, you dumb idiot. Oh, you can't make this up. Oh, Jacqueline, thank you for the $9.99 super on Rob Noor's live last night. He said when he went to teach a debate course with Andrew and his wife last month at TPUSA, they were talking to Erica Kirk and he had to excuse himself because she started sobbing uncontrollably. Oh, Erica, girl, you know listen here. All you got to do is send me a message on X on a DM. Say, Lady Luck Club, go on and handle this helper. Or Candace, I will scorch the earth with you. You understand? And sleep peacefully. It wouldn't even bother me. See, this because Erica Kirk is a real human being. She was married. She loved him. They had 2 kids together. And Candace is jealous of all of that. Candace wanted Charlie Kirk, and he wouldn't stun her. He said, "No, ew, yucky. I don't date demons." Now she's talking about he in purgatory. Why? Because he didn't want to be with you? Candace, how do you send a man to purgatory because he didn't want to be with you? That's what this come down to. Candace is absolutely jealous. All because he didn't want to be with her. You don't have to date demons. Why would Charlie Kirk date a demon? She said we're a legion. Okay, we're gonna leave that over there. Now we gotta plead the blood of Jesus over this dumb demon. You can't make this up. Candace was jealous. She is absolutely jealous of Erica Kirk. And through all the slander and the defamation that Candace has done towards Erica Kirk and TPUSA, Erica Kirk still carries herself with grace to where she does not get out here on social media and respond to this dumb demon that calls herself Legion. But Candace, she will respond to you in a court of law through a lawsuit. Don't say nothing because you had it coming. She done sat here and sent this Charlie Kirk to purgatory. He didn't want to marry me. So, I just, how I feel, he in purgatory. He ain't up there in heaven. What? Just leave him alone. How about that? Man, you can't make this up. Diligent got an attorney. He got his court members paying for his attorney's fees. I told that boy, you might not want to go this route with that receipt. Don't do it. Because that restaurant owner probably sick of him. And all the morons. He got an attorney for what? He got sued? Y'all know Charles was looking at her like, ew, yucky, no. Oh, you can't make this up. He didn't trust Candace. He didn't trust her with a can of paint. I ain't doing Snow Deck. Can't make this up. She been jealous from day one. Candace, I knew you were going to do that. Check your emails. Okay, I will. I sure will. It's so irritating, Candace. We all know you jealous of that girl. We all know you jealous of Erica Kirk. And these nasty ass men like Pick a Booger Nose, Project Booger Nose, clowns like him that would never ever get half of a woman that Erica Kirk is. All they do is obsess over Erica Kirk staring at her photo. Can't make this up. They could just leave her alone.
I wish that we could let the man rest in peace and stop all of this. Stop looking at videos of him losing his life and fast forwarding, rewinding, and like trying to reenact him losing his life and dripping out messages from him. I would love to stop all of this, but don't lie about who started it, and don't lie about who actually is attempting to refuse to let him rest in peace, and who actually is releasing messages that contradict the public man that we knew Charlie Kirk to be publicly, because it's not Andrew Wilson, okay? It's Candace Owens. Anyways, there's so much to catch up on this week, and we'll do it all this week, okay? I believe Candace is on break all week, so we'll have some time. And I'll talk to y'all again very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.
Yeah, shout out to
Patrick Bet David. He went on his show yesterday.
So, of course, the moderator that sucks Doggedy went on his show and said and did a bunch of dumb things because, he's a coward and a simp. Pat, is his name PBD? We don't care about simps. The whole grown man sitting here kissing Candace's butt. No, we don't care about that. We're not in the mood for that. Why he felt like he needed to do that, who knows? Because the moderator is supposed to be neutral and impartial. See, Candace, the thing is, I don't do demons, and I didn't know Andrew Wilson. I would have been a fantastic moderator. I would have put your behind on mute because you like to overtalk people. That would have had to be virtual for me. I don't go to demons' houses. So this simp came out, tried to defend Candace after the debate, talking about, something along the lines of she won. No, he sucks donkey D. Let's get to it. Shout out to Graham. Oh, Graham.
To talk about who he thought won the debate. And his answer is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
Exactly, Jackie.
First of all, I want to play him saying what he believes really quick, like his percentages.
Okay.
Okay. So after the debate that Patrick Bet-David moderated, this was what they put as percentages of what they thought the most likely scenario was. And the reason I'm playing this first is because the next video that I play is in the same freaking episode. And I'd love to go on Patrick Bet-David's podcast and talk about it. Our teams have flirted a couple times about some things. I met his co-host a couple months ago back at the Capitol building. And I'd love to go on and talk to him about why I have an issue with everything he did and everything he said, especially in this post-debate episode. But first, let's listen to what he had to say about percentages of who he thinks did what. Listen to this.
CIA has to do a better job for me improving their trust. So there's always going to be somebody in this organization. Like when you see James Comey saying 86-47, I'm going to put a small percentage here that they could be involved, 10% here.
What?
And then for me, I'm going to go to leftist, pretty much 80-something%. I don't think Israel won from it, but I'll always put 1% there just in case. So I'm going to be 89% leftist, 10% CIA, 1% Israel. And I don't think TPUSA had anything. If they did, you're the dumbest criminals in the world. If they did. And I don't think that's the case. If they did.
Can we bring this back to Minji?
Yeah, because Israel would take out their most valuable proponent that supported them and sent them a 7-page letter saying basically, here's how you can do better. Because do better. Like if he didn't have any criticism at all, then they would just say, oh, he was a straight puppet. He gave them criticism. Oh, he was just trying to just not support Israel anymore. What you mean? No, there's not. Those are extreme. He can have his views on it and not agree with everything. They are like somehow it's just impossible with anyone else who disagree with Israel and still be a supporter of Israel. And say, we don't agree with everything you're doing. Here's how you can do better. Yeah, because he's going to take out time of his life to type up a 7-page letter. Also, he could just say, I'm just going to abandon this altogether. Make it make sense? See, Candace lacks common sense or the ability to, speak the English language. So he's like, good God, we're talking about the woman who can't say rhetoric. Candace, get your ass off our planet. George is going to get deported. We don't need his DUI behind on our highways anymore. We're sick of it. The best part about this Candace is you get to go with her and make this up. Why did she come back to the U.S.? Just go away. Why is she gone a week? Is it so you can pretend like you gave birth to Candace or what? What we doing? No one can confirm if this girl's actually pregnant with a baby.
So that guy, whoever that guy is, that's the guy I met at the Capitol a couple months ago. Whoever that guy is, his co-host or whatever. Anyway, so 89% a leftist, trans, furry lover did it.
Oh, Jesus.
10% CIA was involved, 1% Israel was involved, and 0% Turning Point USA was involved. Okay. But here's the next clip. And here is where I have, again, the morality of this country and where we're at, the morality of independent media. The question was, who does he, being the moderator, think won the debate? And he goes on to say both of them won, but the reasons that he gives shocked me. Let's play it. Let's go.
You know who I will say won? Here's who I will say won. I think both of them won. And I'll tell you why they won. But I think Candace won because she got the money and she presented her argument. And in an area where she conceded, she says, I don't know why you're playing this video. I already conceded to you. And I said, yeah, I was wrong. And she did that. So that was good for her to do that. And I think she got in front of an audience and moved some people that probably don't watch her content. Remember, baptizing is key. Baptizing is key. And I think Andrew Wilson won because, let me explain it to you.
Baptizing is key? What does that mean? What does baptism have to do with this? Candace also said Charlie Kirk is in purgatory, you dumbass. Yeah, we going there or what? What does baptism have to do with it? Y'all, you can't make this up. Hold on. Oh, y'all. Francisca sent us a photo. Candace. Yeah, it's got you all over. Can't make this up. People tagged us in on a photo on X. Hold on. Y'all see the avatar? Y'all, we got to get the Grim Reaper off of our planet, okay? We're not in the mood. Get off of our planet, you seed of Chucky. Oh my God. Hit that like button. Because we're here for this. Oh my God. This cat is sitting here thinking she being threatened to somebody. Show me the files. I want to see the videos. I want the footage. All of it. Meanwhile, they're asking, you still in the mood for a physical fight? Because, we can go there. Anytime. Candace, why these shoes look better than any pair of shoes you've ever worn? Well done. Well done. What are these Jordans? Candace, these shoes look better than any pair of sneakers I've ever seen you wear. Dressing like she's somebody 98-year-old Grand Mimo. Can't make this up. Girl, bye. Yeah, all this is fluid. She out here procreating with the devil himself and then demanding footage. No! You're demonic behind off of our planet. Get off our planet. Y'all. Oh my God. We might put that on a t-shirt. Check out the merch shop, y'all. We got new shirts up. You can't make this up and get by, Felicia. Lord have mercy. Oh. All right, let's get the other one up right quick. I'll make sure I got this tag. Sifa says she tagged me in a photo. Oh my God, hold on. Oh, Sifa. Y'all ready? Wait. There it is. Ah! Hold on. It says you're on a time to shoot only Charlie Kirk. No, it is the Tyler. Where's Kickback? What about the Jewish Mormon Beat Coat? George did it. Candace. Oh. Yeah, when you tell on your own fake and gay lavender husband, I'm definitely putting that on the shirt. And cups and hats. I'm getting it all. We're going to do bags. We're doing everything on that one. George did it. Shout out to Sifa, y'all. You guys are extraordinarily creative. I love it. Extraordinarily creative. Go grab your damn for your bottle. Oh, because this is what her cult members do. Are you ever retarded? No, you are. And she's still going to get sued. The end. There's nothing you can do about it. But throw your tantrum and ask these dumbass questions. That's a copy and paste of all the other dumb bots out there. This don't move me at all. He can't do anything about her suing him. Nothing. What you mean? And then you can do about it. So yeah, that's the whole thing of talking about SWAT. Oh no! I want you to be plain on that one. I'm gonna try to find that one. Cause boy, that's something else. Y'all many don't play. They get so bad to be like, I can give a damn about how they feel. You already you can't use. She said she should be questioned. No, she's still gonna she's still gonna get sued. Period. Nothing you can do about that. Bye, Felicia. Check out the merch shop. Everybody. Because it's me all day, every day. Bye, Felicia. They think that somehow makes a difference on something. No, it don't. I mean, shit. Means nothing to me. All right, y'all, let's get back to Graham Allen. Shout out to Francisca and to Sifa for these fantastic thumbnails that I have. One of them is a avatar. Y'all see it? Oh, child, you can't make this stuff up. Get back to it. Y'all hit the floor if y'all can hear, because when I toggle tabs, its sound goes out. It's so weird.
Remember, baptizing is key. Baptizing is key. And I think Andrew Wilson won
nothing, right?
Because let me explain it to you how much he won. And I think he won more than Candace won. And my argument is going to be very, very weird. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? This guy spent $300,000 and got somewhere between $50 to $200 million of ad viewership.
Yeah, great point.
So guess what?
He's a big winner.
My wife at home says, who was the guy? I'd never seen him before. My dad says, I've never. Most people, his YouTube channel only had 180, 200,000 subs.
Yeah.
Very good, eloquent. I've had him on. He's been on Rogan a couple times. So he's getting the momentum. I think Andrew will.
You've had him on a couple times and you don't know who he is. How bad you gonna lie about this? He sucks donkey D. PBD sucks donkey D. How bad are you about to lie about this? How do you say you don't know who he is, but then I've had him on a couple times. He's very eloquent. What you mean? So why do your wife not even know? You didn't tell your wife, hey, I've had him on my show a couple times. Where you been? Is it for real? It doesn't matter how many subs he has. It's about the impact. You know, because morons don't understand how that works. They sit here talking about subscriber count. Same nonsense that the candy ass cult members do. Because, you know, they know nothing else. They don't want to get big mad when you say we're suing her ass. We're suing Candace Owens. It's Candace. Erica Kirk and TPUSA are going to sue you. Nothing your cult can do about it, but be big mad all day, every day until God returns. They will be big mad. And we still don't give a damn. No one else cares. We're rooting for Erica Kirk and TPUSA to drop that lawsuit on your head. You might want to tell your cult members stop knucking and bucking at people. I already told this dumb demon, you will be named as a co-defendant. If I got to see him and sue your cult members, you're going to get named as a co-defendant. Like it or not, I don't give a damn.
Won because for everybody that says, what an idiot to give $300,000, I think it's the same story as Kanye spent $7 million on an ad for Super Bowl and sold $25 million of merch. I think Andrew Wilson won because overnight now everybody knows who he is. Yeah. Very simple. So from the business standpoint.
Okay. From the business standpoint, Andrew Wilson won. All right. Now I've got, I just, look, man.
I'm just going to go down here.
PBD is weird. He's weird. Somehow
that's my
Candace won because of that.
It is murder content. It is blood money to all of these people.
Dude is weird.
None of these people care about anything. Patrick Bet David, and he's not the only one. They are all this way. Who won the debate? Candace won because she got the money. She got the money and she was introduced to people who don't watch her show already. And she got tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers during the thing. And then Andrew Wilson won because he paid in Patrick Bet David's view, 300 grand for what Patrick Bet David deemed to be worth $50 to $200 million worth of advertising. So he got a steal. And now everybody knows Andrew Wilson's name. You can't buy that kind of publicity. But apparently he bought it for 300 grand, what should have cost him between $50 to $200 million worth of advertising. He equated it to the same thing as Kanye West spending $7 million for a Super Bowl ad and selling $25 million worth of merchandise. How do you reason with people like that? How do you reason with people that their morality can be twisted and contorted so much that it only appears as a dollar sign? How can you debate, negotiate, reason with people that their only purpose in life is money, advertising? Baptism is key, he says. Very sacrilegious way to use that word, in my opinion, but either way, he says it.
It is blasphemous. Baptism of what? What are we talking about here? Why would he even use that word again? Because I said the same thing. Well, what does baptisms have to do with this? You mean brainwashing? Is that what you're going for, PBD? I told y'all he sucks donkey dick. Didn't I tell y'all that? I don't know, but I don't want to hear it. Anyone say, oh, Lady Luck, you should say he does that. No, he does. He sucks donkey dick. What does baptisms have to do with this? So he's advocating for people to be brainwashed. Yeah, be baptized in this stupid cult nonsense. Well, baptisms have nothing to do with this. Candace is an idiot who doesn't read. She took the money because she knows it would have been stupid not to when that's all you're doing it for. Candace, I enjoy seeing you being humiliated on every level. Because you tried to say that Charlie Kirk was in purgatory. You won't leave him alone for 2 minutes. Meanwhile, George Farmer's in the closet and he's not studying her at all. Or Charlie Kirk. Or TPUSA. Not one time did he issue his condolences. Crazy how he don't give a damn. George Farmer could care less about any of this.
Baptism is key.
Lord.
You have to baptize these people. You got to just dunk them in the water.
Yeah.
And then some people will come out changed and some people will go, why did you just throw me in the water? Baptism is key, he says.
Yeah,
to converting audience, to converting ad revenues and sales, for the CPM to be higher, for the cost per acquisition to be lower, for the top of funnel to be more, to where more people turn into buying loyal customers. The only problem is they're using my friend Charlie to do it. They're using mine and my wife's friend, Erica, the widow of Charlie, to do it. They're using real people and destroying real people's lives to do it.
They don't care.
They're ruining marriages. Do you have any idea how much content is out there between a husband?
You say you wanted to see what he said about the baptism? Yeah, right here when he said something about baptism.
I think she got in front of an audience and moved some people that probably don't watch her content. Remember, baptizing is key. Baptizing is key.
To what? Salvation? Candace doesn't offer that. She's not Jesus. I told y'all he sucks donkey D. I could care, like, when you being blasphemous like this, I don't care about your feelings. We're not in her coat. You are, you simp. We're not in her coat. We don't owe her anything. So it sounds like he's aiding in this so-called brainwashing. You got to baptize these people into your nonsense and buffoonery. Where's her evidence to prove that Tyler Robinson did not do it as a fact? because she said it was a fact that he did not do it. 0%. And she has evidence when asked by this donkey D sucker. What was Candace's evidence at again? Funny how she never brought that up. Mighty convenient how he never said, are you going to bring up your evidence? You said you had evidence. You said yes. We need you to pull your evidence up. Your turn. You keep challenging him on his. No, bring your evidence up. Let's go. Why he didn't do that to her? He's a simp. Punk ass. His wife should be ashamed. You married a simp for Candace Owens. Congratulations. He's a donkey D sucker.
Can be twisted and contorted so much that it only appears as a dollar sign. How can you debate, negotiate, reason with people that their only purpose in life is money, advertising? Baptism is key, he says. Very sacrilegious way to use that word, in my opinion, but either way, he says it. Baptism is key. You have to baptize these people. You got to just dunk them in the water. And then some people will come out changed, and some people will go, why did you just throw me in the water? Baptism is key, he says, to converting audience, to converting ad revenues and sales for this.
It's a conversion tactic. The way, and this is how I'm dissecting and digesting this the way Graham is. What does baptisms do? Designed for you to be converted. As we know as Christians, baptism is a way to say, I accept Jesus Christ into my life, and that I want to be washed and cleansed of my sins and be able to start afresh and anew as a Christian. That's the overall goal of baptism, as I understand and know it, spiritually. Otherwise, I mean, what is a bath? If it's not for conversion, then why use that term? That's how I see it. If you're not even trying to reference converting someone, then why use the term baptism? You could throw them in the water and call it a bath. You know, you just got to throw them in the shower. Throw them in the pool and they learn how to swim. Why not use that expression? I get it. He is using that figuratively. I get it. But there are other terms that he could have used to express just throwing people out there and then letting them come out on their own. Throw them in the pool and just see if they float. Sometimes people just got to be left in the woods and then they figure out how to build a tent. There's so many ways that could have been said when you're talking about just kind of throwing people out there to see how they survive. You using the term baptism, to me personally, I feel like you're saying conversion. The last thing Candace should be even thinking that she's converting people when she claims she has evidence to prove that Tyler Robinson was not there and is not the shooter. As a matter of fact, she said it is a fact. After having heard the evidence, she is 0% convinced that he did it. And he asked her, do you have evidence to support the fact that it is at 0%? She said, yes. Who needs to be converted? Just show your evidence. Baptism is irrelevant, right? You can get baptized in mud. He said that people have, let me go back. PPD said baptism is key. He feels like people came out on her side. Let me go back. Because he thinks she won something. Let me go back. We're going to go back.
One, because she got the money and she presented her argument. And in an area where she conceded, she says, I don't know why you're playing this video. I already conceded to you. And I said, yeah, I was wrong. And she did that. So that was good for her to do that. And I think she got in front of an audience and moved some people that probably don't watch her content. Remember, baptizing is key. baptizing is key. And I think Andrew Wilson won because, let me explain it to you how much he won. And I think he won more than Candace.
So she moves the people because she said, no, I concede to that because she didn't read shit. But yet, Andrew Wilson won because of monetary gain. How's that? Like, that wouldn't have been hard for him. He knew he was going to get the views. He knew people probably start paying him a lot more attention too. You know, that has its pros and cons, right? Now you got more people coming after you as well, trying to dox you. He got more death threats too. So for PBD to go after, this when it comes to Andrew Wilson winning something, as if he got all good and no bad. No, he got more death threats as well. He's getting more attacks too. The money is just the financial gain to pay bills. But peace of mind is something you can't pay for. He's also getting more death threats. Somehow that's a win for him. He won because he had merit to his arguments. He maintained some level of logic and common sense. Not just because it was just a financial boost for his channel. But yet somehow Candace won because, baptism is key. He said people who don't even watch her, she was able to pull them to her side. What? What side? Candace been saying this nonsense for a whole year. And she's still flat out wrong because she can't even say that this case belongs with the state of Utah prosecutor. Somehow it's baptism now with more people people who she didn't even listen, they don't even listen to. She was able to convince him. What? This is how I'm understanding this. I might disagree, but this is how I'm understanding this.
In front of an audience and moved some people that probably don't watch your content. Remember, baptizing is key. Baptizing is key. And I think Andrew Wilson won because, let me explain it to you how much he won. And I think he won more than Candace won. And my argument's going to be very, very weird. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? This guy spent $300,000 and got somewhere between $50 to $200 million of ad viewership.
Yeah. Great point.
So guess what?
He's a big winner.
My wife at home says, who was the guy? I'd never seen him before. My dad says, I've never. Most people, his YouTube channel only had 180, 200,000 subs.
Yeah.
Very good, eloquent. I've had him on. He's been on Rogan a couple times.
I've had him on. Your wife and your father don't even know him. So your wife and your father don't even watch your show. Yeah, now that's proof that his wife and dad does not watch his show. If you've had him on your show, you should have been able to send him the link to that and say, no, he's been over here before. I mean, I've heard him, but here he is. Here the video. Go check him out. So because they hadn't heard of him, they just somehow automatically believe Candace? How? You never went back and asked Candace to present those facts to prove that Tyler Robinson did not do it. And she was 0% assured. No, you never even asked her about that evidence. 3.5 hours of this nonsense. What? Why didn't you double back and say, Candace, it's your turn to present evidence? You said you have evidence to prove that he did not do it. And it is a fact that he did not do it. That's called bias. He couldn't even keep it neutral and impartial. I'm like, and this is him trying to explain why he feels Candace won. What? Child.
So he's getting the momentum. I think Andrew Wilson won because for everybody that says, what an idiot to give $300,000, I think it's the same story as Kanye spent $7 million on an ad for Super Bowl and sold $25 million of merch. I think Andrew Wilson won because overnight now everybody knows who he is. Yeah. Very simple. So from the business standpoint.
Okay. From the business standpoint, Andrew Wilson won. All right. Now I've got, I just, look, man.
I'm just going to go down here.
This is some BS right here.
That's my point.
He only won because of money.
It is murder content. It is blood money to all of these people.
Make this stuff up.
None of these people care about anything. Patrick Bet David, and he's not the only one. They are all this way. Who won the debate? Candace won because she got the money. She got the money and she was introduced to people who don't watch her show already. And she got tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers during the thing. And then Andrew Wilson won because he paid, in Patrick Bet David's view, $300,000 for what Patrick Bet David deemed.
I agree with you, Velvet. I'm just saying that's why I don't think he should have used that term, because of what baptism means to me as a Christian. What baptism symbolizes is just that, what you put in your comment here. So it's not a matter of, her baptized like baptism is key. On what? That's why I'm saying his terminology in that is off. He could have simply just said, she got people to watch her that normally don't watch her, and convinced them because she said, I concede to this and this. Like, but that's, we all know that doesn't prove anything in a real debate. Because debate, you got to come with facts and evidence to support your claim. Candace didn't do that at all. And he didn't even challenge her on it. That's what makes him, PBD, sound even dumber when he's using this terminology. You didn't even go back and challenge her on, okay, do you have any evidence to support anything you've said? You said he didn't do it. Can you show us facts? He never went back and challenged her on that and told her to pull it up. Pull it all up. He never did that. And I can say with a blessed assurance, because we did a watch party on it. He never one time went back and said, hey, can you pull up your evidence to show proof that Tyler Robinson did not do it? Because now it's only fair. We've been at this for 2 hours. You've been hammering him about what he has. Now it's time for you to present yours. Why did he do that? He didn't even try to keep it neutral. Thank you, Jacqueline, for the $4.99 super. She's losing her mind that people are behind Andrew and already raised over $100,000 within 5 days to help him recoup the money. Her coat hasn't let up about it. But yet, they don't have any issues of her accepting $300,000 for a debate that she had zero evidence to show proof of anything. And PBD is just like, yeah, I'm just here, to bounce off of this so I can get my views up. He's saying all of this based on views and money. Oh my God. PBD obviously is all about the money. He all about the money. I think it's terminology talking about baptism and all that. He makes it sound cultish. Child. Joshua Carr did a video. Not a movie. Oh Lord, a video. She didn't win Diddley Squad. Yeah, he came in. He came in and he made the points I think the average reasonable person would have made. He mentioned the corroborating evidence. Same things that most people would have said when you're asking, how can you be so sure? Because evidence corroborates itself. You have various types of evidence that exist. And they've been able to admit and present that so far in the prelims. Because we're going based on what's being said and done in the court of law. But you can't forget, Candace didn't even read the documents. She didn't read the charging documents. She didn't read none of that. And then when asked about the actual charges, she getting help from, what's coming in through her mic, through her earpiece. She didn't know. Candace don't read like that. Child, how you doing? I see you up in here. 3.5 hours of my life, I'll never get back watching that. Susie Q, what is truth? And get anyone else to moderate. We don't need these suckers up in here.
To be worth $50 to $200 million worth of advertising. So he got a steal. And now everybody knows Andrew Wilson's name. You can't buy that kind of publicity. But apparently he bought it for 300 grand, what should have cost him between 50 to $200 million worth of advertising. He equated it to the same thing as Kanye West spending $7 million for a Super Bowl ad and selling $25 million worth of merchandise.
Crazy.
How do you reason with people
There's no reasoning with it.
like that?
You don't.
How do you reason with people that their morality can be twisted and contorted so much that it only appears as a dollar sign? How can you debate, negotiate, reason with people that their only purpose in life is money, advertising? Baptism is key, he says. Very sacrilegious way to use that word, in my opinion, but either way, he says it. Baptism is key. You have to baptize these people. You got to just dunk them in the water. And then some people will come out changed, and some people will go, why did you just throw me in the water? Baptism is key, he says, to converting audience, to converting ad revenues and sales, for the CPM to be higher, for the cost per acquisition to be lower, for the top of funnel to be more, to where more people turn into buying loyal customers. The only problem is they're using my friend Charlie to do it. They're using mine and my wife's friend Erica, the widow of Charlie, to do it. They're using real people and destroying real people's lives to do it.
Yep.
They're ruining marriages. Do you have any idea how much content is out there between a husband wishing his wife would quit watching this garbage, and they debate all the time and argue within their marriage about things that shouldn't have anything to do with their marriage?
Yep.
They don't care about the country. They don't care about a movement. They don't care about fighting back Islam. They don't care about fighting against transgenders, or the fact that Massachusetts just signed a bill that you can murder your kid up until birth. They don't care about any of these things. They care about money, and he just freaking admitted it right there. And that's how either evil or delusional all of these people are. He thought he was making a good point. He thought he was making a profound observation that no one else had talked about. Yeah, we've talked about it. We called it blood money. But he thought that he was being smart. He thought that he was making a valid point and a valid argument, when in reality, you were just proving how empty your soul actually is, sir. Candace won because she got the money. It's the first thing he said. This is the first words out of his mouth. I think Candace Owens won because she made the best argument. No. Candace won because she got the money. Literally, his first words, his first thoughts. Candace won because she got the money. And baptism is key. She got in front of an audience that she normally doesn't get in front of. And we already know through analytics, she got tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of new subscribers across all platforms. And then he goes on to say, I also think Andrew Wilson won. Because everybody was like, oh, he's such a chump, spending $300,000 to debate Candace Owens. No. He's not a chump. He's genius. Because that event was so large in Patrick Bet-David's mind, he would have paid between $50 to $200 million to advertise on that type of platform.
Wow.
So therefore, Andrew Wilson won because he's a genius and he got a steal for 300 grand. He got upwards of $200 million worth of advertisement for 300 grand. That's a steal all day, every day of the week. And now everybody knows his name. It's the same thing. as Kanye West spending $7 million for a Super Bowl ad and getting $25 million in merch sales. It's the same thing. It's disgusting.
Yep.
These are the people. How do you negotiate? How do you negotiate? How do you deal with people when you say, where's your evidence? Oh, we don't need evidence. We're entitled to our opinion. You're not
You didn't call it a
deposing me.
fact.
This isn't a court of law. I'm allowed.
And she said it was a fact that he did not do it, and she had evidence. When asked, do you have evidence to show that it is a fact that Tyler Robinson did not do it? She said yes. And he never followed back up on that because he's a chump.
To say these things. How do you fight against that? How do you reason with people? I've never really had a problem with Patrick David until that clip.
You're an idiot.
That clip, we now have a problem.
All day.
Willing to come on your show, in your house, in your terms to debate and talk about it, but we now have a problem. Because see, if you, sir, look at everything as dollars and cents instead of moral versus immoral, then you can't be a fully functioning member of society if you can't have the discernment between the two. I don't care how good of a businessman you are, and you are a great businessman. There's no negating it.
No, you just right.
You're richer than I'll ever be.
Gift the gab.
But your money won't save you.
Nope.
When it's all said and done.
Not at all.
Doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter any of this. When it's all said and done and we face the same judgment, because we all will, no matter what your religion is, no matter what your beliefs are, we're all going to face the same judgment, that I assure you. Your money and your take on what is a good business investment for advertising purposes, no matter who it hurts in the process, no matter the lies and blood money and all of it attached to it. How do you reason with these people?
You can't.
How can you truly say that these people belong in our tent, in our movement? I don't think you can.
Candace Owens fans are turning on her because remember when she did that ridiculous debate with Andrew Wilson when she demanded to be in her house and etc. There was
Now shout out to Graham Allen. Now we got Mira K. I told y'all we had a lineup, y'all. Yeah. Boy, you can't make this up. I loved his take on that. I loved it. I loved it. That was absolutely, oh child. Candace trying to draft everybody into her demonhood. Hey, you can use baptism into a legion. It's demonic, right? We're not no thanks. Her legion can return to hell. Can't make this up. Candace literally said it's why we're a legion. Leave us out of that. We're not with you. I don't know who is we. Her and her cult members. They are a legion. Hell is hot, Candace.
also a $300,000 fee, which she had asked originally for it to go up to $500,000. So for context, Andrew Wilson on the Joe Rogan show basically offered Candace this amount of money to debate her. And Candace said, no, I have all of these terms. It should be fine, $500,000. She finally agreed to $300,000. They did this debate. It was ludicrous. It was ads. It was millions of views, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But now her fans are like, okay, Candace, since you're Charlie Kirk's best friend, why don't you give the money to Charlie's children? And Candace is like, no, I can't do that because I'm a money-loving hoe bag, and I could never give away my hard-earned money sitting in the basement of my house, destroying another family's life and the legacy of a man who I used to call a friend, but I was madly in love with, and he betrayed me because I'm black and went for a beautiful white woman. So I will now spend my energy and time leashing my wrath on him and making millions of people hate him and everything he's for. And now also supporting Lindsay Clancy and the woman who murdered 3 of her children, claiming that it's Big Pharma's fault and not this woman's fault. Anyway, Candace, as we already know, is a narcissistic, power and money hungry, crazy woman. And so the fact that her fans are like, what the heck? Why wouldn't you actually donate this money? She's like, I don't understand. How dare you request that of me? She's actually made a video called How I'm Spending My $300,000. And guys, yep, it's terrible. And I apologize in advance. You have to watch more of The Switch. Whew, let's get into it.
Randomly, as soon as I said I would take it. So first it's she's scared. There's money on the table. And that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm being scared and not taking the money. Then I take the money, exactly what he offers, $200K. And I'm a bad guy because how could I take the money? These people are insane. They're just insane. There's no way to make them happy.
Candace, I say you were stupid to not take it because you're doing all this for money anyway. You just did exactly what I confirmed. You moron. You just did it because you're confirming what you and your co-members have been saying. Because they keep telling on you. Candace is making millions of dollars. Yes, she's weaponizing the death of Charlie Kirk. We've all been saying that. She does this for money. But that's all she does it for. She's not pursuing anything. She doesn't read the court documents. You can't pursue a truth and you don't want to read the court documents. You're certainly not an investigator. Candace, you could be reported for impersonating one, though. You want to keep going now? That's what her dumb cult members don't realize. She took the money because she was getting paid the money either way. It's just coming through a different source, Candace. You and your cult members are still stupid and demonic. Hey, Monica, girl, how you doing? Hey, Lily, hey. So you driving back home, just pulled over before to get this off my chest. That guy and his team, PVD, would sell his mother for money. He's one of those who have zero integrity. Yeah, he sounds like it. Didn't I tell y'all he sucks donkey D? I don't have to know him at all. And I think I nailed it with that one. PVD sucks doggy D. He's a coward. He's a punk. And you want everybody to sit here and be baptized in Candace's demonic cult. Nope. And so he seems like the one, he basing everything off this money. Child. This is what we are like. With some clown that's sitting here being a simp for Candace, a demon who calls herself a legion. It's saying people were baptized and convinced, and child, God said, leave me and anything that I do in the Bible out of this. It's so crazy. Grown men simping for Candace. Grown men. And then he had Andrew Wilson on his show. Somehow his father and wife does not know who Andrew Wilson is. Really? You never told your own wife or father about Andrew Wilson, who came on your show? Child. He wants to sit here and just go along just to keep his views and money flowing. God knows how to sit you down, don't he?
They can't leave you alone and let you just investigate the case.
Yeah, I'll tell you how to make them happy. Stop freaking trying to destroy Charlie Kirk's legacy. Just shut up, shut down your podcast, and go on pretending to be a good mom to your children that you will somehow ruin because of your clearly narcissistic abilities. And one of the worst things for a kid is to have a narcissistic mom. And yeah, move out of the public sphere. None of us want to hear about you again. That is how we will all be happy. Yeah, sorry to break it to you, Candace.
Because you got the money's on the table. And then they chastise you for taking the money. And they were all instantly like, Candace needs to establish a trust for Erica Kirk. Like the people outside of Michael Knowles, the people that I absolutely despise, all saying this in unison, that I need to donate this money and establish a trust for Charlie's children. And then people just randomly telling me what I should do with the money. Like, for example, this person, multimillionaire Candace Owens, should donate her victory money to Tyler Robinson's defense if she really thinks that he's innocent. Andrew Wilson put his money where his mouth is. Why doesn't Candace?
I mean, as if
Candace, why won't you hire Mitch Snow, an attorney? Yeah, it's the same reason why she won't do that. Candace, aren't you supposed to be matching his donation, his gift saying go dollar for dollar? She said, I will match Mitch Snow's donation dollar for dollar. Candace, you supposed to be giving him $150,000 right now, you moron. You said that out of your mouth. No one told you to say that. Candace, I never told you to donate that money. I already know it's going to burn a hole in your pocket. Candace, when it's all said and done, you got to explain this to Jesus. I know you listening, you dumb moron. Why not pay some money towards the defense for Tyler Robinson? Or give Tyler Robinson's parents some money? Candace, are you going to give Lance Twiggs money? Because I've been asking for how long, how much did you pay Tyler Robinson? Did you tell that boy he will never see a day in prison? That's what I want to know. I've been asking for how long, how much did you pay Tyler Robinson? I think I was one of the first ones to start asking that question. Candace, you in on it. How involved are you is the question. I've been saying since last year. Candace, how much did you pay Tyler Robinson? Somebody need to be doing a whole series on if Candace Owens did it. You can make this up. You keep telling on yourself, Candace, you an idiot. You dumb leader.
She has no idea who Lucas Gage is. She knows exactly who Lucas Gage is. Just for everyone who's unfamiliar, he was a raging, raving, crazy anti-Semite who was recently just like a neo-Nazi type who has recently saw the light, and he has reverted from his ways, and he is now talks out about how he was dramatically extremified, etc. And he's like a really rational voice now who's speaking out about people like Candace. I'm almost 1,000% certain that Candace knows exactly who Lucas is. Like, oh, who this person. This is exactly the kind of stuff that she does. And by the way, yeah, it's not nuts for people to look at Candace and say, hey, you make all these claims about trying to be the only person there to defend Charlie. Like, why not do something to protect Charlie's children? Now, I'm all for people. If they're making money for stuff, they're allowed to make money. You don't have to donate all the money you make. Of course not. But Candace pretending like this moral conundrum is on other people because they're judging her, and it's not something that she should be dealing with. Ugh, sickening.
I didn't offer Tyler Robinson publicly go across things and say, I'm going to prove to people that I think he's innocent. I'm going to give 300. I never did that. I don't do that. Those sorts of things. That's not what I do. I'm not braggadocious, nor would any person who knows the least bit about finance be so.
No, Candace just don't give nobody any money. Candace, you say you will match Mitch Snow's fundraiser dollar for dollar. It's $150,000 over there, you dumb demon. So you gonna keep your word or no? How that's gonna go? Because you got $300,000. You could just drop $150,000 in his GoFundMe now. And give me my 10 grand you owe me. This see the Chucky lies like hell, don't she?
Stupid as to spend $300,000 to have a conversation with someone who debates for free. Always. Do my annual debates with Piers Morgan. They're for free. Been debating all across college campus. I was doing that for free. I've had debates with Rabbi Shmuley, who I can't.
How much are you willing to bet that it wasn't for free, that she at some point was being paid in some way for it, through the viewership, through the publicity, etc., for free? And by the way, I also hate Rabbi Shmuley, just for the record.
And on Piers Morgan for free. And so it's just so interesting that actually my entire life, all these people ever do is message me kindly and respectfully and ask for a debate. No one has to throw money around. That's how it works. I've hosted debates. There's been no money involved. This is unique because Turning Point USA just hates me this much. And
have you noticed?
Candace, prove it. I want to see your bank account. Show the transactions in your bank account, helper. No way in the hell she did all that for free. The devil is a liar, and so are you, Candace. You lying? Oh, you heating up hell single-handedly. You moron. Y'all know she didn't do that stuff for free. Candace, because if you did all that for free, you would be broke. You wouldn't be living. Now, you know what? You married your faking gay husband who already had money, so whatever. You don't do this stuff for free, Candace. The fact that you took the money is proof. You don't do this for free. You see how that works, Candace? You talking about what do these people want? You're still too stupid to keep up. The fact that you took the money is proof. You don't do any of this for free. Because you would just do it. And you would not have even raised the price on it. Candace, why did you say that he would have had to give you $500,000? Because she tried to go up to $500,000. Why do you say that, Candace? Why didn't you say, no, I'm not taking any of the money. I'll do it for free. Let me know when you're ready. You could have just said, no, I'm not taking the money. He sent the email. Didn't he post up the email confirming that she took it? Why take it if you do this for free, Candace? I'll let you keep up with trying to figure out why, Candace, you still look like shit. A dumb demon took $300,000 to debate someone to which she still provided zero evidence. And she still can't figure out, well, what do you mean? I mean, people telling me to take it, and I took it. So now it's like people trying to tell me how to spend it. What do you mean, Candace? The fact that you took the money is all the proof we needed to confirm that you do all of this for money. Marinate on that, you dumb demon.
As to how many people have asked to debate Candace, like tens and tens of big significant political commentators have said, Candace, let's talk about it. And she said no to all of them. She's making it sound like she's somebody who's just always happy to debate anyone. No, she says no to almost every single debate unless it works exactly for her and she has an agenda behind it. And in this case, she was willing to do it because she thought she could make Andrew Wilson look bad, and also because the money was compelling. So she took the money. This is so classic Candace manipulative of being like, I always debate for free. He's the problem. If he wants to just drop his money, why should I give that up? No. BITCH, we see you. We see you.
Where obviously Blake Neff and Andrew Colvett were retweeting him as he was going after me and offering more and more money. And now they think the solution to that is for me to open a trust.
By the way, the whole offering more money, I'm almost pretty sure that she
Candace, what would be wrong with you opening a trust for Charlie Kirk's 2 kids that you claim is like a kid brother to you? So wouldn't that make them like a niece and a nephew? So your pretend niece and nephew somehow doesn't need a trust because no, this was the $300,000 for a debate. Y'all can't tell me how to spend this money. I got paid either way. That I accepted because you didn't have to accept it. Candace, I told you I love it when a plan comes together. You're not that smart. You're still bad at this, Candace. You are bad at this. Good grief. You confirming you're a simpleton, a demonic simpleton. You took the money because we said so, Candace. Really? Show us your bank statements where you've never taken any money from anybody that you sat down with and had a debate with. Don't you have an appearance fee? Because I could have sworn Candace had an appearance fee. So if she go on your podcast, it's because you paid her to. She makes money in all that she does because she greedy like that. And yet the idea that, well, why did you all tell me to take the money? No. You could have ignored all of us and just said no. Because aren't you a grown-ass woman? You dumb demon? Yeah, no. Because Candace acts like, now she's 12 years old. You got to tell her what to do. That's how dumb she is. Candace, you have no idea. I know you listening, you stupid moron. You have no idea how many points you confirmed that I have made about you alone. Y'all remember me saying that on the day of the debate? I love it when a plan comes together. Candy, you confirmed that you do this for the money by accepting money that you didn't have to accept. No one told you to do that. No. You wanted to do it. You're just trying to use everybody else saying, you'll be stupid not to take it. Like she can't just say, no, I'm not going to take it. Just come over here and debate me. I'm a pregnant. I got all this fluid in my belly. When's she supposed to be breaking water? She down now. She want to blame it on everybody else. How dare you all tell me to take $300,000? I shouldn't have listened to Lady Luck Club. She was calling me stupid. Candace, you're still stupid. You're still stupid. I want to be clear on that. Candace Owens is still stupid. George is like, I'm going to boys club. You owe me half, or else I'm going to tell the secret. So she got to give George half of that. Y'all, he gonna fly over there to see Andrew Tate in jail. You know, he got to give him a conjugal visit.
Demanded that it be rise to 500K, and then she dropped that and it went down to 300. I'm not 1,000% sure, but I'm almost pretty certain. So of course, and they're offering more and more and more money. Was like a big part of it was her demands. Amazing how she manipulates information.
For Charlie's children, which in a way, I know it's not, but it feels like money laundering. The organization that's hunting me, you want me to then give them.
In a way, you feel like it, but you know it's not. Candace, you're an idiot. It's not money laundering. It's called you being a demon, and you're evil. And obviously, you don't care about Charlie Kirk's 2 kids. Shame on you. George said half of that is mine. I have a flight to catch. Yes, you know, we all know George is going to go out there and see Andrew Tate. Are you okay, darling? I'm on the way. And Andrew's on the phone like, no, bro. You have to come over. No, just come between 2 and 6.
Money to the person who'd be in control. That would, at first, of course, would be Erica. First,
I mean, I love the way that she's made this into money laundering, right? Yeah, of course. So donate to children of your best friend, supposedly, who died or was killed, more accurately. That would be money laundering, because Turning Point USA, obviously, they just want to do things legally. Do you see this? Do you see how subtle it is, but how obvious as well?
First, what I want to say is there are a few things I despise more than fake altruism. People who do charity as a part of a PR program and not because it's necessary or needed. And Charlie Kirk's children have been multimillionaires while he was alive. And that increased in his death. Many people opened trusts, raised money. The last thing that Charlie Kirk's children need is more money. What they need is a stable parent. And unfortunately, I can't give them that. Right? I can't give them that. Mom doesn't want to be home.
You're not a stable parent, and you're in the basement with your 4. You said out of your mouth, you know, I feel like a bad parent because all I've been doing is crying over Charlie Kirk, and I haven't even tended to my kids. Candace, you said that. You're still ignoring them fake crying over Charlie Kirk. You ain't crying over nothing. You took your bum ass out to go fishing when you could have went to his memorial service. Candace, you're doing exactly what we all knew you would do. Why are you crashing out over accepting $300,000? We know damn well you're not charitable. You don't do math. Candace, what's 7 times 5? She hasn't even conquered 3rd grade math. What's the math at? Carol. George said you got to give him 50% up front. What you talking about? And you probably have to put, like money on Tyler Robinson's books. Y'all know she got to be funding that on the side. Andrew Tate in prison. He got to get money on the books. George Farmer go take care of it. And what the hell are you mad about? What you mad about? You trying to say that her kids are rich and wealthy and yours aren't? As if you didn't marry your fake and gay husband, the son of a lord, who is a billionaire? Your father-in-law is a billionaire, Candace. So you're not making any points here. We all know you're not going to get Tyler Robinson any better defense attorneys because you won't even hire Mitch Snow, a defense attorney. And he's your co-defendant in a federal lawsuit. You're doing exactly what we knew you would do, Candace. Don't shift that on everybody else. Accept responsibility, you and your legion of demons.
A dad can't be home, and the one thing they need is not a bunch of influencers using them as a talking point and suggesting that 300 more K could plausibly make a difference. And like I said, there's something about it that just feels icky. Like the very people who sent the person to hunt you are basically trying to create a peer pressure campaign for you to give the money back. Like that's not going to stand for me. And so instead, What I would like to announce that I'm doing with my money thus far, what I've decided, other than the fact that I did go to Waffle House this weekend, is I'm going to take care of the people who took care of me. As this organization has
give me 10,000 you owe me, heifer. You owe me $10,000. That way me and Ben Shapiro can go to lunch again and again and again. And it owes me 10 grand. Put it in my safe. Go now. This stupid demon won't even match Mitch Snow's dollar for dollar. Safe. Go now. That would be $150,000 plus you would have to put in there, Candace. Because she's not a woman of her word at all, because she's a demon and a liar.
Fixated, sent influencers is a part and parcel of these group chats that are coming together, protect Erica Kirk, of people who have attempted to make our...
Candace, where's that police report? You say you will file with the police, because I'm waiting. I'm waiting on the police report number. She said she's going to file a whole report, not a complaint or charges. A report. Where's what's the report number? Where is it? Who's the point of contact? Is this going to be like on a local law enforcement level, or are you talking about the FBI? You going to go straight up to the DOJ? How you doing this? Because if you go see her report 92 people in a group chat, you got to give us all of us that information. Come on, you dumb demon. Post it up on X. Post up the point of contact, the investigators, whoever's going to be researching into us. Sergey Brin does not count. He doesn't have the credentials. Come on. We're waiting on you to file this report.
Children feel unsafe, that they have gotten behind, retweeted, supported. I'm going to look out for those people.
Oh, girl, bye.
People like my sister. If you want an organization that's going to get money from me, it's going to be the Catholic Church, the priests that took care of me emotionally when I was coming apart with the realization that Charlie and everything that he had worked for, he's been betrayed. Charlie has been betrayed. Everybody can see that. You betray him every single day.
Everybody, no, stop lumping everybody, because everybody is a term where you're saying all people. No, just you and the demons, your legion. Leave us out of that. We don't do evil. Get off of our planet.
And when you do these sorts of things, you betray who he was.
She don't want to give it.
Yeah, I can't actually listen to anyone. But sometimes I wondered, does she actually believe this? Because so much of the things she starts there was clear nonsense that she thought of before, like how to manipulate the story.
Don't stop. Yes. Where's my 7K?
Is she nuts? Is she actually completely certifiably totally insane and nuts? Like, I'm gonna go after people who supported me because it was so hard for me. I'm the one who suffered the most.
Oh, Nikki B, can we get a design, a logo that says "Where's my 7K," like the Bye Felicia one? Oh my God, yes. Oh, this is so good. I'm so glad you said this. Don't stop. Shout out to you, honey. Where is my 7K? Candace owes me $10,000. That one I definitely won't. Candace owes me $10,000. The audacity. We put up photos and everything showing me and Ben Shapiro at lunch with my midget horse. The audacity of you to ignore it. I know you're watching, you dumb demon.
Goodness gracious, Candace.
Stop.
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
She's saying that.
Oh, well, we get to eat. Oh, man. Oh, y'all. Seafood. Oh, what a great friend you were, Charlie. Oh, this is such a thumbnail. Candace, I'm putting this on the t-shirt. Shout out to Seafood. Oh, yes. I love it. You see, Candace. Yeah, we call out your nonsense and buffoonery. Oh, this is such a t-shirt. What a great friend you were, Charlie. Because, she took the $300,000. Whether we said something or not is irrelevant. Candace wasn't even going to have the debate. Candace, I thought it didn't matter who you debated with. Then you want to sit here and say, well, it should be TPUSA. They should be here. Not Yale. Yeah, be gone from me, you peasant that I invited to my house. The audacity. You invite me out here and say it shouldn't be me? Then why did you even take my money? Candace, you see how dumb this makes you look? And demonic. That demon all in her. You can't make this up. Shout out to C for all that stuff. That's good. That's good. Francisco got, oh, we got a couple shirts to get up. Where's the document? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Ah, yes. So Matt Sorrelson Esquire filed the response to Mitch Snow's motion to dismiss today. Y'all ready? I hope this is gonna be good. Okay, let me zoom in. All right, make sure y'all can see this. In the Middle District, United States Middle District Court for the Middle District of Tennessee, Nashville Division, Brian Harper v. Candace Owens et al. And the dum-dum called co-defendant Mitch Snow. Brian Harper's response in opposition to defendant Snow's motion to dismiss. All right, so plaintiff Brian Harper hereby files his response in opposition to defendant Mitchell Snow's motion to dismiss. Intro. So they give some background information here. This is a straightforward matter of defamation for profit. September 10, 25, America's most prominent youth political activist, Charlie Kirk, was publicly murdered by Tyler Robertson at Utah Valley University, known as UVU, turned himself in the next day after the killing on September 11th and has admitted guilt. And then they cited the Matthew Brown defense in Charlie Kirk's killing, say shooter should get death penalty hit into the target. Associated Press from August 12, 26. Despite Robinson's clear guilt, Owens, perhaps the highest profile conspiracy theorist on the internet, and the dumbest, who also called herself Legion, sees an opportunity to further her business model of monetizing over ever greater scandal, positioning herself as the leading truther about the real identity of Kirk's assassin, to whom she has not named. Yeah, okay. So, as plaintiff Brian Harper alleges, in the wake of Kirk's assassination, Owens rapidly began promoting conspiracy theories about complex plots behind crime on her daily show. I don't think they were that complex. You might want to take that word out. It's not complex about saying it was a bunch of bees that did it. You know, they went through these underground tunnels that I've never seen. Because Candace never went to UVU. What did you, Candace? Candace. Between the dates of September 1 through September 10th of 2025, will we see you in any of the UVU surveillance camera footage all over the campus? Is that why you keep trying to create doubt on the video footages? Because we might see you and George Farmer there? Oh, Lord. And yet this Sergey Brin can hack into Google to see something from behind Charlie Kirk, but not look at all the surveillance camera footage to see if Candace Owens and George Farmer were there. We don't have her alibi. We owe you nothing, heifer. These include sinister accusations that Kirk was failed, betrayed by those closest to him, some of whom are supposedly in league with shadowy government forces and aliens and Martians. UVU was responsible for security at the event on its campus where the assassination took place. Harper oversaw a limited portion of the security arrangements. Y'all see this? This is why I say you got to edit. Yeah, you got to amend this and edit the misspellings. On behalf of TPUSA, Owens targeted her defamatory accusations about responsibility for Kirk's death at Harper, both directly and by association as part of TPUSA's security team. Let me see. Now. All right. On December 8, 25, Snow initiated contact with Owens to provide her a fabricated narrative to use on her show that fit with the conspiracy theories about the Kirk assassination that she was already monetizing. Snow, a civilian who lives in Washington, claimed to have somehow found his way onto the secure U.S. Army installation of Fort Huachuca, Arizona, the day before the Kirk assassination. Claimed that rather than being arrested for trespassing, he accidentally entered a classified meeting of high-ranking officials and saw someone whom he was certain was Harper, because he said 95 to 99%. This facially absurd story has, needless to say, not been supported by corroborating evidence. Because corroborating is a word, Candace. Corroborating evidence. Y'all see? We all know Candace doesn't read, okay? The only time she gonna hear anything of what's being filed in this stuff is because I'm reading it out loud. Candace is not gonna read this. He's illiterate. Can't make this up. Oh, you're so right, Susan Q. She is she's full of it, and he is too. Mitch Snow said he got videos and photos, Candace, that he gave to you as evidence. Where is it at again? So, God. Harpole directly alleges that Snow's entire story is false, that Snow willfully fabricated it without any plausible basis in fact or misunderstanding, and that travel records show Harpole was in Texas on the day in question. Jesus face. Harpole alleges that Snow and Owens agreed during their conversation on December 8th to a conspiracy to defame Harpole for their mutual profit. Owens would profit from her publication of Snow's story on her show, and through her media platforms to garner viewership, she could monetize. Snow would profit from the fundraiser Owens announced on her show for Snow's benefit in connection with his story. Because that's exactly what the hell happened. That is a matter of fact, Candace. That is exactly what occurred. Owens then used her media platform as agreed, spreading Snow's story, using it as a springboard to make further insinuations that Harpole was involved in the plot behind Kirk's assassination. Snow furthered the alleged conspiracy by subsequently appearing remotely on Owens' Tennessee-based show, repeating his story and bolstering its credibility. Snow assured the audience that he had a gift for recognizing people because reasons, and was 95 to 99% certain because math that the person he saw at the suspicious meeting the day before the assassination was Harpole, not a lookalike. Snow made his story even more outlandish by asserting that he saw Harpole walking out of the secret meeting with an unidentified congressman, whom he flat out lied on. Moreover, Owens publicly announced her creation of a legal defense fund for Snow as part of his appearance on her show. The only reasonable inference is that both Owens and Snow knew he would face legal liability for his lie. Didn't I tell y'all that? He would face legal liability for his lies about Harpole and Owens wanting to indemnify Snow without expressly indemnifying him. In other words, he knew he would get sued lying like hell. Y'all, didn't I say this? I said this when he first came on her dumbass show. I said they raising his money because he knows he's gonna get sued. He probably signed and agreed to it. There's got to be an NDA. Candace, did you make Mitch Snow sign an NDA? Because he already threw you underneath the bus. He said, no, I gave all the video and photo evidence to Candace, all of my phones that I used to take this video and photo evidence. Yeah, it's locked in security deposit box. But I'm not going to tell you all the codes or anything. Candace, you might want to confirm in a video with Mitch Snow how he gave you this evidence, the videos and the photos. Because he said you got it and you're now the rightful owner of it. To which Brian Harper's attorneys will be asking for in court. That's going to be a part of discovery. Since you want to get to that discovery phase. Yeah, no, they have the right to ask you that. Because Mitch Snow put that in an X post. So they're just going to pull that post up. And they're going to say, okay, you said you gave her all the videos and photos. So Candace Owens Farmer, where the hell is the videos and the photos? Can't say he lying, Your Honor. Miss Snow lying like hell. Oh, this your co-defendant. Based on Snow's role in fabricating the story, insinuating that Harper was involved with the Kirk assassination and in working with Owens to spread the fabricated story as part of her investigation, in quotations, into the conspiracy behind the assassination, Harper brought the present claims for defamation and conspiracy against Snow and related claims against Owens and her media entities. Because it made money. Snow now seeks dismissal of Harper's claims against him for lack of personal jurisdiction. Snow emphasizes that he lacks residential, travel, or regular business ties to Tennessee. But Snow ignores his own voluntary, repeated, and tortious conduct. Tortious interference, Candace. That's what it is. Why isn't your attorneys teaching you this legalese? They're not counseling her on a damn thing, Candace. Your own attorney is going to help you lose like hell. They won't even tell you to shut the hell up. Tortious conduct. Yeah, because this is all part of tort. Indirect and defamatory statements about Harper into Tennessee for publication through Owens' Tennessee-based, Tennessee-produced media operation, conduct that forms the heart of Harper's defamation claim against him. Those contacts more than suffice at this stage. Snow also ignores the court's personal jurisdiction based on his alleged participation in a conspiracy with Owens and her entities. And because this is a federal lawsuit, it goes to this level of court. Initially, anyway. Because it's federal lawsuit. Reflective of the fact that the information was spread out through electronic platforms. You know how many state lines you cross between Tennessee and the state of Washington? They're not keeping it on the state level. That's why they filed it as a federal complaint. Candace, you're an idiot. Snow also seeks dismissal of Harper's defamation and conspiracy claims on the merits. Snow argues that his challenge statements are not capable of defamatory meaning in context, and that Harper has not sufficiently alleged he acted with actual malice. But Snow's fabricated story, disseminated as part of a conspiratorial investigation into the true culprits behind the Kirk assassination, was plainly capable of insinuating Harper's involvement with the assassination in context, and was understood to do so by its intended audience. That means to the average reasonable listener and viewer, when Mitch Snow said he was 95 to 99% sure he saw Brian Harper on the military base at some high-profile meeting for the purposes of covering up Charlie Kirk's assassination, he insinuated that he was directly involved in the actual conspiracy to cover up Charlie Kirk's murder. We don't need more than that to understand that that's what he was saying. That's exactly what he said, because those words came out of his mouth. All we gotta do is play a video. Meanwhile, Candace still can't read. Candace, I know you're listening, you dumb demon. Completed facts also established that Harper was a private figure who need only show Snow acted with negligence, though they plausibly allege actual malice based on Snow's knowing fabrication of his story, and then saying he will not concede to his allegations. So you doubling down in your motion to dismiss. As to conspiracy, Snow claims Harper fails to allege an agreement and an underlying tort. Harper's allegations regarding the December 8 call and subsequent conduct by Snow and Owens more than reasonably support inference of their agreement, and Harper's allegations establish underlying defamatory conduct by both Snow and Owens. None of Snow's arguments for dismissal are availing, and his motion to dismiss must be denied accordingly. Because he's not an attorney, he had no idea what the hell he was saying. Candace, Ms. Snow just took parts of your motion and just put it into his. He had no idea what he was saying. He can't even decipher the case law that he cited. Oh, the court has personal jurisdiction over Snow based on his contacts with Tennessee and based on conspiracy jurisdiction. When a court decides a Rule 12b2 motion on written submission, the plaintiff need make only a prima facie showing of jurisdiction, with the court considering the pleadings and affidavits in the light most favorable to the non-movement, and without weighing the controverting assertions of the party seeking dismissal. Then he cited case law Carbone v. Call. Sixth Circuit 2025 case. Snow's declaration denies domicile, travel, business operations, control over Owens podcast, and intent to seek a Tennessee-specific audience or make a request for Tennessee-specific action. So this is the electronic filing number 35, docket number 35, paragraphs or line number or rows number 3 through 15. But it does not deny Snow's deliberate, repeated contacts with Tennessee to publicize his defamatory statements about Harper. The December 8 call to Owens, a Tennessee resident, to share the story for her to publish and to arrange their conspiracy, and Snow's coordination with Owens for this December 18th appearance on her Tennessee-based, Tennessee-produced, Tennessee-published show to further disseminate his story. Those suit-related communications are sufficient to establish personal jurisdiction over Snow. In other words, why the hell he just didn't do this on his own channel or on X without Candace, the dum-dum? Y'all see what it is here? He went out of his way to reach out to Candace because he thought, well, if she produces it on her show, on her channel, I won't have any, responsibility to back it up. It's not going to fall in my lap should anything go wrong. That's where he was mistaken. Because he could have just did a video and just posted it up on his damn channel, on his Twitter X or Instagram or whatever else social media platforms he has from the state of Washington. Does that make sense? Hit the phone. Why did he do that? Because Miss Snow is a punk ass coward. And he knew his dumb accusations would get a lot more viewership and a lot more notoriety. Having Candace go out and say, yeah, I can confirm that, yeah, all of this he's saying is right, because of reasons. Why didn't Miss Snow just do a video and put it up on his channel again? Because he knew no one would see it, because we don't know who the hell he is. He did this to get eyes and attention on his BS. And that's exactly what happened. He got eyes, he got attention, he got views on his BS. Because otherwise, you're not going to reach out to Candace unless you're just trolling the hell out of her. To which I advocate. Candace, you should be trolled for many hours for the rest of the year. But you're not going to just do that unless you want people to know this is what you're alleging. You know she's stupid as hell and she doesn't vet. So what are the odds of somebody like a Miss Snow getting through with this wild and dumb story? The dumber the conspiracy, the more plausible she's going to pay attention to it. Y'all see how that works? Because otherwise, he could have just put this up on his BS social medias. Probably no one would have seen it. Maybe one person would have saw it and sent it to Candace either way. But he reached out to her directly and sent her this tip through her tip line, to which she said on her show. Because that came out of her mouth. When he didn't have to do none of that. He could have kept that to himself. And as dumb as this is, he should have. Candace, you're not going to hire him an attorney for real. Oh, the court has personal jurisdiction over Snow because of his voluntary repeated use of Tennessee contacts to publicize defamatory statements against Harper. Because he could have kept it to himself. We're going to go down to the next one. He volunteered this information to Candace. She said, yeah, come on my show. And you can repeat this dumb shit. You might get sued. As long as you know that. Yeah, no, well, everything has a risk, right? Yeah, I'll make sure I just set up a GoFundMe now. Oh, okay, cool. And I'll match it dollar for dollar, but I would never do that. No, it's also subject to conspiracy jurisdiction. Yeah, you created this conspiracy. You took it over to the state of Tennessee to Candace, the dumbest idiot on earth. Yeah, this happens. Yeah, I'm just summing this up. Alternatively, limited jurisdictional discovery is warranted. Because he said he had videos and photos he gave to Candace. And he's got multiple cell phones sitting in safety security deposit boxes. If the court finds the written record insufficient, it should permit targeted discovery prior to ruling on dismissal. Courts may authorize discovery needed to determine whether jurisdiction exists. Then they cited case law on that from the Sixth Circuit. In this case, such discovery should include a deposition of Snow. Oh, I would love it. Miss Snow could get deposed, Candace. He's going to throw you underneath the bus again. And this time he's going to do it on the record under the penalty of perjury. Depose his ass. Please, judge, let that happen. I want both of them to be deposed. I'm here for it. So either he gonna perjure himself and then catch all that heat coming with it for Candace. He's gonna continue to double down and say he gave you all the videos and the photos and the evidence. And then try to go in there like he hard. While all the air in his chest talking about, I'm not conceding. Oh, okay, cool. Fly your ass over here and get deposed. I'm here for it either way. The production of all of Snow's communications with Owens and her corporate entities and should address his knowledge of their Tennessee location and operation, his authorization of the December 9th publication of his defamatory story on Owens' show, and her subsequent use of his story in her media operation, planning and execution of the December 18th interview, and the planning and arrangements for the fundraiser Owens announced for Snow's benefit, where she said she would match dollar for dollar. Candace, you said out loud you would put money in it. Y'all, could this get even better? Candace forgets that she said that she was going to match it dollar for dollar. Candace, you literally admitted to giving him money for this BS, to which he has completely threw you underneath the bus. Candace, since you're the rightful owner of the videos and photos, according to Mitch Snow, are you going to just show us or what? Did he email it to you? He put it in a Google Drive? How did he give it to you? I need Brian Harper's attorneys to ask her that. Yeah, so how did you come into contact with all this evidence he claims he gave you? Lady Luck Club is interested in knowing this information. It's pretty funny. Can't make this up. Those facts bear directly on both Snow's purposeful availment of Tennessee conspiracy jurisdiction and responsive records are likely to be largely within defendant's control because he gave her all the evidence. Harbaugh has sufficiently alleged that Snow defamed him by fabricating a story insinuating that Harbaugh was involved with the Kirk assassination. Because he did. And then Mitch Snow said, I'm not conceding. I ain't taking none of that back. Snow, okay. Snow's statements can reasonably convey a defamatory implication to the reasonable viewer and listener. Listen. Mitch Snow defamed Brian Harper. Bottom line. Can't make this up. Then he ran over to Candace's dumbass show to do it. The complaint pleads the required fault. No further claims that Harper fails to allege that Snow acted with actual malice. He doesn't have to prove malice with Snow. You're a private person. Kick rocks. This argument fails both because Harper is a private figure who only needs to prove Snow acted with negligence, and because Harper's allegation that Snow knowingly fabricated his defamatory story satisfies the actual malice standard. Pleaded facts do not make Harper a limited purpose public figure because they don't. He went out, corrected the record to defend himself against the defamation because that tortious interference was causing him to lose money. Candace Miss Snow does not give a damn. They'll care after this. Oh, Miss Snow, when you get served with that deposition, yeah, that's gonna be something else. I would love to be the media inside that courtroom for that. Okay, y'all, hold on. There's 23 pages of this. I'm just scrolling down. I want to just get kind of the main points on this. Nonetheless, Harper plausibly pleads actual malice. Even if Harper were a limited purpose public figure, his claim survives. Actual malice means knowledge of falsity or reckless disregard for the truth. Because that's how it works. It may be inferred when a story is so inherently improbable that only a reckless person was circulated. Candace is a reckless demon legion. She's personified evil. I mean, what are we doing? Of course, Candace is being reckless. She didn't care at all when she brought Miss Snow's dumbass on her show. And then he turns around and says, well, I gave Candace all the evidence. I don't have it. Candace, you'll learn the hard way where I keep saying he threw you underneath the bus. And at some point, that'll click. Oh, my God. Where a story is fabricated by the defendant, product of his imagination, or is the product of his imagination actual malice, it's satisfied. Harper expressly alleges that Snow knew his account was false because he fabricated the supposed first-hand encounter with Harper at Fort Huachuca. Plus, Brian Harper was in Texas, and there is evidence, corroborating evidence, to prove it. You know, flight receipts, surveillance camera footages in airports. Good God in heaven, his phone data. 3 key pieces of evidence right there. Harper supports his claim that Snow knowingly fabricated his story with specific alleged facts. Snow's account depends on his personal knowledge of a facially outlandish series of events. Although Snow is a Washington civilian, he claims he somehow found his way onto the secure Army installation of Fort Huachuca near the Mexican border, and somehow, y'all see that in parentheses, inadvertently joined a classified meeting among high-ranking military officials and a congressman where he identified Harper and somehow avoided subsequent arrest and prosecution. Because how the hell all of that happens and you didn't go to jail? The complaint pleads publication and actual injury. It did. Brian Harper said they published this information in her dumbass video on her channel, and that there is actual damages. He lost money from business because Candace said he should have been fired, and it's all his fault. See how that works? So all this money he lost, revenue he lost, businesses he lost, contracts he lost, that is damages. And he was like, y'all gonna pay me that money back, whether you like it or not. I'm here for it. The pleaded facts permit an inference of agreement between Snow and Owens. Of course, they had to agree. They had to communicate and agree. That's the only reason why he got on her show. 17 days, Candace. That number is something else for you. 18 days. From December 8th to December 18th, 10 days is all it took for you to somehow fact check this dumbass and get him on your show to continue to lie like hell. And you didn't play not one video or show any photo of the actual evidence he claims he gave you. Funny how that didn't happen. Ms. Snow said that each conspirator is liable for acts in furtherance of the common design. Yeah, the conspiracy is the scheme that they furthered by having this clown on her show. They just doubling, tripling down. The underlying defamation torts against Snow and Owens are adequately pleaded. We outlined it, we pleaded it, we gave evidence to support it, we give citations of reference, we showed the damages, we've expressed that. We've even proven malice about Mitch Snow, and we don't even have to do that with his dumbass. We also able to do that with Candace. He was not a limited public figure. And Candace is not an investigative anything or journalist anything at all. She doesn't even read. Candace, they're gonna mollywop you in court. You should be very, very scared. You have to call George's daddy and say, "Listen, I know you hate my guts. You know, I'm talking about, you know, demonic things and being called a legion and cult leader and blah blah blah. I need $50 million. I just lost this lawsuit. No. I settled it. No, I lost it. I don't know if you saw it. I had an out of body experience. I was astral projecting. I went to purgatory, came back, and I still lost. So I need $50 million to pay this man. Candace, you might as well just call George and say, "Listen, can you just call your dad and butter him up a little bit?" He can't stand me at all. I know George's mom's got to be like, "I told you not to marry that hopper. Didn't I tell you? Come out of the closet. This is all your fault, George. And then you're making more babies with her. She's a pregnant. Ew." His parents told him, "George, your mama told you." I know she did. Because, you know, we mamas, we sense that nonsense coming a mile away, don't we? No, this hopper is not the correct one for you, son. No. Can't make this up. In conclusion, for the foregoing reasons, Candace needs to butter up her father-in-law, who's a billionaire, and say, "Hey, I need $50 million. I cannot pay you back. You know, and if necessary, you know, we'll fly the kids out there to spend the summer with you, you know, to kind of repay you for this. This is all my fault then. I get it." Court should deny defendant Snow's motion to dismiss in its entirety. Should the court determine that the personal jurisdiction issue cannot be resolved on the written pleadings, the court should grant Harper jurisdictional discovery into relevant issues concerning Snow's contacts with Tennessee and the conspiracy among Snow and the other defendants prior to any decision to dismiss Harper's claim without prejudice. We're also asking that Candace be ordered to pay Lady Luck Club the $10,000 that she owes her because Lady Luck Club went to lunch with Ben Shapiro and her midget horse. It was adorable. Y'all, that's it. That is their response to Miss Snow. They said, "Kick rocks, you moron. You can't make this up. You're not an attorney." Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, I got tagged in. Y'all, Candace thinking somebody, "Oh, that's a girl bye." Yes. Oh, where's my 10K? Where is it? Look at this adorable. Y'all see my pink midget horse? Is it? Oh, it's so cute. Where is my 10K, Candace? You dumb demon. Oh, y'all know I'm going to share this and love it. I am so here for this photo. Shout out to Seafa. Y'all, I got a lot of t-shirts to make tonight. This is like t-shirt number 4. We just gonna keep it coming. Candace, I told you I was gonna troll your dumb ass. Didn't I tell you that? Oh, where's my 10K? Where is it, Candace? You owe me my money. I want my money. Where is my 10K? Oh, this is epic. Isn't this gorgeous? Oh my God, it's so stinking cute. Oh my goodness. Y'all, listen to all the men of the Lady Luck Club. This is just going to be a for ladies only t-shirt, okay? Now, if you want to get it, cool. But I just foresee this being a for ladies only t-shirt, all right? We're gonna have all the beautiful colors that, you know, us women want to wear. I love teal and green, little yellow, and just, you know, standard white. We're gonna get pink and purple, the lilacs, turquoise. I like all the Easter colors. It's gonna be beautiful. I am so here for this. Then we got to do a navy blue. Send Ben Shapiro this photo. I'm like, "You want a t-shirt, bro?" Oh, I love it. Nikki B says, check your emails. I sent a few. Yes. Y'all know y'all designs and thumbnails and stuff is gonna go on t-shirts. I love it. Where's my money? I'm so here for this. Oh, we got some photos. Y'all, I'm gonna pop this on the t-shirt. I'm gonna have to save this as a surprise. I'm gonna pop this on the t-shirt. Absolutely. Are you kidding? Where's my money? Yo, we got it. We got it. Where's Gil at? I need Gil to email me because I gotta get this stuff incorporated. Oh, where's my money? Candace, you steal my logo, I will sue you into oblivion. You already stealing the CIA logo, you stupid heifer. Because she lacks creativity. It's not our fault that you in a demonic cult leader. Whereby? Oh, you guys are awesome. Nikki B sent 3 photos. C for Francisco. Y'all, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. And I gotta listen. We're gonna make sure everybody gets the shout out in the description of the t-shirts on the merch shop. Y'all, please make sure you go to that merch shop. Shout out to Juju. Juju purchased a cup. Was it a coffee mug? Y'all, get you some merch now. That supports this channel. You know, it supports the expenses for the channel. You guys know I got my second interview tomorrow with TPUSA. So, you know, because the cult members like, oh, you should get a job. Oh, wait, you're going to work. You possibly going to work TPUSA? Hold on. But they won't leave a super chat and they want to troll me for free. Funny how they run their damn mouth and they pay no bills in my house. Can't make this up. I'm so excited. Y'all, this is so adorable. So adorable. Shout out to you. Oh my goodness. I love it. I've already saved, downloaded these photos. Look at this one. Candace. I told you, we're not playing over here in the Lady Luck Club. We're trolling the hell out of you. And I'm going to make money doing it. Y'all make sure y'all buying these t-shirts. You can't make this up. Let me know if y'all want other products like more coffee mugs, hats, bags, you know, stuff like that, totes. Give me some feedback. Let me know what more products y'all want to see. Hoodies, socks. Listen, we make it happen. I'm excited. Thank y'all so much, man. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. I think I'm going to save the eating for tomorrow because that video is 36 minutes long. And I got to get some beauty sleep and some rest. I've been at this since 8 o'clock this morning, y'all. Got up, took my son to school, came back, ate breakfast, and went live and been live all day. So tomorrow, let's see. Jackie said, how do I purchase? Okay, let me send you. And don't forget about Patreon. You all. I got to do a music video reaction and put it there under the membership. But we do have Patreon as well. Let me pull up it's on their 4th wall. And I'm going to send you the link. I'm going to put the link to the store in the chat. Visit shop. There we go. And let me switch over so y'all can see it. Boom shakalaka. Here is the link to the shop, you all. As y'all can see, we got new little emojis and stuff on each of the channels. You guys are amazing. What about the short sticker I tagged you on X? The short sticker? I don't see a short. You sent me a short? A YouTube short? Is it this one here? Oh, we got that one. Are you talking about actual like a video clip? I'm under notifications. I don't see it. Yeah, that one. That one. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm at the top. Can you tag me again? And we'll check it out tomorrow. I tag you on a short video of Tucker. Oh. Okay, we'll check that out tomorrow. We'll check that out tomorrow. Because it's from Milk Bar, right? Yeah, we'll get that in tomorrow. I would love to wear the. Oh yes, y'all. He has a memorial coming up. Thank you, Seafood. We'll check out that one tomorrow. Y'all know I can't stand crackhead Mickey Mouse Tucker Carlson. I can't stand him. But I told Seafood I would play that video for Seafood. Tucker Carlson can kiss my ass. I can't stand him. Yeah, he's a punk. He's a whole punk. We'll get it in tomorrow. We'll get in tomorrow. Please remind me. I may have it tagged on my thing and it just wasn't under my notifications. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, honey. Y'all see this here? This is the website. Please grab a shirt. This is what I'm trying to get incorporated. Y'all shout out to Nikki B for this logo. Make America Laugh Again. It's going to be incorporated as Mala time. Because that is not taken based on the search from U.S. Copyright and Trademark website. And then, of course, the Lady Luck Club want to get incorporated as an LLC. So hopefully Gil will reach out to me. We can make it happen and get that going. Because it takes, what, like 5 or 6 months? I didn't know it took so long. But it does. And here are all the products, y'all. So when you go on the website, you click on the photos of me and my pink midget horse. Beautiful photos. I think Francisca gave us the photos of that. Francisca, you gave me these photos, right? Let me know. These are beautiful. Yeah, this is so boss. And then we got You Can't Make This Up and Bye Felicia. Well, as y'all can see that, we got the cup, the Buckle Up Memorial Cup, coffee cup. Make sure you guys check that out. And I wanted to, step this up a little bit. They have the usual coffee cups, but I was like, no, I like the one with a little silver rim around the top. And you guys see that. Buckle up, everybody. Here we go. I love this animated photo of them side by side. This was awesome. And then we also have that in a t-shirt. Buckle up, everybody. Here we go. Premium tees. All right. So I kept it simple with the shirts. And you guys have a variety of colors here. White, natural. I prefer the black, but because I think it's badass, but that's just me. But you guys make sure you check it out. They're various colors. You got blue, gray, army color for the men. And all those, served in the military. That's pretty cool. So I just wanted to make sure I did it right. And I love the, animation and it's very creative. And this is from the video. Shout out to Jay Wick that he helped me get made with Brandon Tatum, because Brandon Tatum like to strike videos. You say mean words, he don't like it. He gonna strike your video. So instead of reacting to his video flat out of his response to when Eric Kirk said flat out, Candace Owens accused me of murdering my husband. That's what this photo came from. I was able to get that animated so that I can react to it. Because Brandon Tatum can kick rocks. So yeah, make sure you guys grab a memorial tee or a cup and show that off. Beautiful shirt. I love it. All right. So I just, I appreciate all of you all. Make sure y'all just hitting that like button. All right. Hit that like button. I know. I mean, good God. That's why I'm like praying for all of us to get a financial breakthrough. Lord, just let money trees grow in all our backyards. Our evil people out here making millions of dollars. Candace literally called herself Legion. She out here racking in 60 million off somebody's death. Can't make this up. But I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all make sure y'all just hitting that like button, subscribe. Let's get in the supers right quick. And we got to check out. As you all can hear, I'm just kind of getting exhausted. And I got to get up tomorrow, do a live, and then I got to get ready for the second interview. I'm excited. Y'all pray for me. Pray that it goes well. Tell Andrew COVID to hire me. Thank you, boy X. Say, hire Lady Luck Club. We're waiting. Oh, man, just pray for me. I'm sure it's going to go well. I'm a bit nervous, but, Shout out to Candace. Thank you for posting Natalie Beesner's YouTube channel link. We checked out Mira K. We checked out Graham Allen. And the behavioral something. Got his name. Thank you, Jim, for sending that over. We'll finish it up. The other half, the behavioral arts. So we'll finish it up tomorrow with Edie Marie. And then the video C4 sent. It might be a short live tomorrow. Just because I know I got a lot to do tomorrow. So shout out to Mindy for the 5 super. I think we got in all the notifications on X. Fantastic Miles in the LLC. Shout out to Jacqueline for the $9.99 super. Thank you so much. We got to do a little bit more Rob Noor. He's pretty good. Oh, and Joshua Carr. Make sure y'all somebody send me the video to Joshua Carr. I think you guys said he did a video on this. So send me his video link and we'll add that in tomorrow. And we'll keep it at that for tomorrow. Keep the lineup short and simple tomorrow. Because I don't want to forget him. Jacqueline, thank you for the $4.99 super. You losing her mind. The people are behind Andrew and already raised over 100K within 5 days and helping recoup. Oh, yeah. She took the money. Candace, that already makes you look like an evil gimp. Nikki B, thank you for the $2 super. Just sent it to LLC. Thank you so much. So I got 3 photos from Nikki B. And then we have a couple from C4 and Adam sent over something. Oh, this is like Trekkie. Candace, we turned you into a Star Trek. The wolf with the hair. Oh, that's epic. Shout out to Adam. Adam must be a Trekkie up in here. Oh, man. I got your other email as well, Nikki B. And I'm waiting on Gil. I might tell Gil later. The club wants you to email her. I need him to email me for real. Thank you so much, Mindy, for gifting 5 LLC memberships. Y'all shout out to Mindy. If you got a membership, make sure you show her some love and support and say thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you, Jeep Lady, for the 10 jewels. A beep beep. Who got the keys to the Jeep? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I am just listen. I'm excited, so I'm gonna get some rest so I can calm my nerves and everything tomorrow. And second part of this tomorrow afternoon. So pray for me. Thank you all so much for the support and the prayers and the love you guys showed. Share the content. Check out the Patreon. Check out the merch shop. Share it at the very least. If nothing else, please share it. That way people can see it and hopefully grab some merch, and that supports this channel. Keep it operating and functioning and flowing. I appreciate all of you all. Zoe, I see you up in here. Alex Jones is gone full cantard as well because he knows it's making him money. He's like, well, I owe $1 billion to everybody, so I'm gonna start saying all this weird stuff like Candace is doing. I'm just waiting on him to say we're Legion as well. You can make this up. Moron. He needs to go take it to the house. My God. Y'all be good. Y'all take care of yourselves and each other to the next one. Later, look, club out. Deuces.